off. And I will be closing this one down. Thank you. Thank you.
Throw up your set.
Ooh. All right. Give me just a second. Let me close this one down, and I'll be right there, y'all. Y'all can go on ahead and talk. Continue. Who's in the back? Anybody? Black Bear, Dennison, me, McFly. All right. We're restreaming in the stream. And we're out.
Like, then you see what I'm saying, right? Like it's just like to promote what Asians are doing. You're
12 more
basically
hours,
asking for
gentlemen.
whites to
12 more
resegregate
hours.
themselves.
Let's do it.
Well, to be clear, I wasn't promoting it, but yeah, I see what you're saying, and I'm wondering if it's not going to become like if it's just not going to happen naturally with the way things are going, with inflation as high as it is, and rent and housing is completely unaffordable. I can see millennials and alphas or whatever it is, Zoomers or whatever.
The boomer.
I can see them rejecting corporate America, becoming a more agrarian society, migrating away from the cities, reversing the Industrial Revolution, and then having more kids because they need more help around the farm, and then that kind of
I'm hoping that happens, Dan. But I don't think the system would allow that to happen.
I agree with you. It's going to depend. People will have to be. They'll have to be focused and organized because corporate America will strike back.
That's the entire plan of corporate America. This is the entire plan, is to break people up into racial groups because it's easier to control them like that.
And they like us hating each other. I'll give you that. Yeah. But physical segregation, I don't think so, because then each individual unit becomes stronger and less codependent. They want us all in cities on top of each other and mad at each other at the same time.
Because it makes the system money.
No. They own all of the major, they own most of the major land. You know what I mean? This is the way the entire country is always. Do you guys know who was the largest landowner in the country in the beginning of the country?
The United States.
In the beginning of the country.
Oh, the Rockefellers.
No, it was George Washington. George Washington owned more land than anybody else because everything they kept giving him land. You know what I mean? Like George Washington owned millions.
No, you're talking way back, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that shit like was just given after he died. He didn't have any children, so it was just given away like as national land and all this other shit. But like that's why they always try to go back and revert to like he was the king. He could have been a king if he wanted to. No, all of the rich elites in that time period basically divided the country up into their own little sections and pieces. Like this is the way the country has always been run, and we live in this fucking fairy tale of these men. Like they were great men. Yeah, they were great men, but like there's great men now that we might not agree with the way that they do things, but that's the way it always has been. Bill Gates owns a lot of land. Yeah. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, but like the way that he did it is more the technotronic era, the more technocratic way, where it doesn't even matter about the money that he has. It's the investments that he's made. You know what I mean? And that's the future. Like I always tell people, in 100 years, bro, your kids might be praying to Bill Gates and Elon Musk and all these people because they're going to be the rulers of the land, not no fucking country or government. Like that's not going to work. Like you can't get 100 people in the room to agree on anything. You think you're going to get 350 million people to agree on something?
Here's the thing. I can get 30 million hungry people to agree on one thing.
Yeah, but you're going to coerce them into the thought process in the first place.
Absolutely.
If you're in charge.
Like I'm pragmatic because I have a technological background and I'm not one of these like I I am capable of nuanced thinking, and I don't believe in a single vast like Illuminati controlling everything.
Yeah,
That being said, in my heart, deep down in places I don't like to talk about at parties, I'm French and I'm a French revolutionary. It's in my blood. And every once in a while, these motherfuckers who run everything, in quotation marks, as they believe, as much as I ain't got time for the prattle and the peasantry and the poor people and the dum-dums, these motherfuckers who run everything, they need to be dragged out into the middle of the street and have their heads chopped off and reminded, I'm reminded about how math works.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll be right back. Dogs.
Well,
Roofs are going crazy.
all right. So Dan, all right. See, this the part where I'm like, listen, man. No matter what, if we like it or not, there's gonna be a hierarchy, right? And I understand.
Kinda.
I understand. No matter what, there's gonna be a hierarchy. Let's say if we defeat, let's say the big bad, the boogeyman, the Illuminati. If we beat the Illuminati, guess what? Now there's a new Illuminati. So my thing is, there's always going to be a hierarchy, and I think sometimes some people just think if they defeat the hierarchy, then the hierarchy goes away, and it's like, no, now you just create a new hierarchy.
What irritates me is that people don't know these things. I have a nagging suspicion that if we were honest with each other about things like the Pareto distribution, then we could create a society that compensates for that. Maybe combats it, maybe eliminates it, or maybe doesn't even do any of that, and it just kind of compensates for it a little bit. Instead, we lean into it, we mythicize it, we worship it, and we claim that these people are better than us because they work harder and they're smarter and they deserve to be leaders.
Yeah.
But in actuality, they just got lucky. They got lucky on top of lucky times lucky, and now we've made them into gods.
Yes.
And it just isn't the case. Most of the time, these people are not very bright. They don't have a lot of morals. They don't know what they're doing. They can't predict the future, and we probably shouldn't be following them. So that's the part that bothers me.
Yes, I don't understand this racial demographic and how we all look at the Asians like they're. If they were so fucking great, like it would be good in where they came from. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Even in Europe, like at least Europe, when you look at Europeans, like there's parts of Asia, parts of Europe that yeah, they're ahead. The Japanese are fucking ahead.
Yeah, no, let me interrupt you. What you're saying is beautiful, because what the Japanese and the Asians are really good at is exploiting the shit that white Europeans make. You know, that's what it really is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're super smart. They're super studious. They work really hard, and they're really, really, really good at living in America.
A lot of our culture came from, not our culture, but like you look at Hollywood, the movies, the way that they used to make westerns, dude, that came from Shogun movies that they were making first, but we just did it better. You know what I mean? And they do better shit than we do. But like, if you look at a lot of the scientific advancements that have come out of Asia in the last 10, 20 years, dude, that is, our scientists have created a lot of this shit. And they just like stem cells is the number one thing I always talk to people about. Like stem cells were like, they were advanced here. The CRISPR machine was advanced here, but then they banned it, saying like, oh, because it's aborted stem cells and all this other shit. No, the most advanced, like the best you can use for stem cells for yourself are your own. You know what I mean? But they made it this argument, and they only brought it up in 2008 or 2009. They never brought it back up again. You can't have stem cells. You can't have anything. But you mean to tell me COVID breaks out, and then all of a sudden, like they just had a cure for it within like a few months? Like it's bullshit, dude. Like this is all.
Well, to be fair,
against ourselves.
Cure don't work.
No, yeah, exactly. You look at the genetic modified humans and all this shit, like that's coming out of China. We created that technology like 30, 40 years ago. We got that from the I don't even know how to say it, the Germans in World War II. They advanced that because they were experimenting on the Jewish people, dude. Like that technology, that science that we got, even rocket technology, jet propulsion technology, all that shit comes from these countries that we denigrate now. Like, oh, they were horrible because they killed. But then it's like they'll talk about the mustache man. Nobody ever talks about Pol Pot. That's the shit that pisses me off. Whereas like Pol Pot killed 10% of his own people. Like he killed people with glasses because he got the people to turn against their own people. And he said, like, oh, people with glasses are usually smarter and the smart people are the problem. You know what I mean? Like it's just like we live in this world where we're so easily manipulated. And it's not us, it's like the masses. When you try to talk to people about regular situations, they'll tell you, oh, orange man bad this, orange man bad that. But then like you'll try to explain to them what the other presidents did, and they'll just be like, oh no, he's the only one that's ever gotten his family rich and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, this is the way that politics has always been run. This is why
Right.
Nancy Pelosi tried to give the seat to her daughter. You know what I mean? Like when I write lyrics about this shit. You know what I mean? Like I always write shit about like these topics because it just pisses me off that people don't see it, and it's right in front of your face.
Right.
That's how you become an elitist, by the way, because you recognize that a vast majority of human beings just don't deserve anything. They don't deserve the beautiful earth they're given. They don't deserve the wealth and abundance that nature's created for them. They're dumb sheep.
It's like, hey man, I'm getting mine, and it's just like, yeah, but do you realize at what cost you're doing this at?
Right.
That's why these people can get away with thinking they're better than us, because we give them a good reason.
Yeah, and we work against our own best interest, dude. And it's not even just it's not white or black, it's American. Like we don't
Yeah.
even realize like all these other people that come to this country, they're not coming here because their culture's better and they just want to make it better. No, it's because our culture was the best. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and we advanced it, but at the same time, like we allowed certain groups, the corporations and all this shit, to just take a hold of it. And it's like, no, we should have been going in a way towards not socialism or communism, but in that spectrum. You know, because I don't believe in public ownership of all these corporations like communism and socialism does. But like at the same time, like I do understand we're in a Keynesian economic system, which is a public-private partnership. We fund all the main technology and all the innovations. And then we just get a 3% portion of the profits. And we let these corporations run profits up for whatever it is. But when you go to certain things like food and agriculture, they're limited to what they can raise the price at. But oil, it's like whatever the fucking day is. You know what I mean? That's why people don't understand why Trump just kept saying, oh, we're closer to a peace deal. We're close to a peace deal. If he didn't keep saying that shit and keep running up the confusing everybody with that shit, dude, gas would be at $6 or $7 a gallon in every state. You know what I mean? Because they wanted it to go up that way.
They wanted, yeah, I was just about to say that, John.
Yeah.
They wanted that shit to go up to $10 a gallon. So then people was gonna go crazy.
They don't give a fuck about us because like they can just bring in another population, and a lot of the population is just at the point where they're just like, yeah, these other groups are better than us. No, they're not, dude. They don't even, like you said, then they don't even have the IQ levels that we had on average. Like it just pisses me off, man. And it's like, yeah, we could bring in other groups, we could bring in other cultures, but like, yo, at the point to where it's like, yo, if there's so many people that are coming here from Mexico, like we might as well just take Mexico. That might as well
Mexico's not even the problem.
No. I'm just saying, like at the numbers of Mexicans that come in, because Mexico's the 13th largest economy in the world, yet the average worker in Mexico makes $5 a day.
Right.
Like that's fucking crazy.
Mexicans aren't even the problem, though. It's Central America that's the problem. Central America, and then all the people that smuggle themselves in through Central America from Sudan and India and this, that, and the other place.
that's been going on really crazy since like 2015, 2013. But like, you know, in the 2010s, like nobody in the early 2010s, I remember, dude, when the census came out in 2010, when they were like 10.5 million illegal immigrants, and it was like 80% Mexican. But then it was just like, you go back 10 years before that, it was the same number. It's like, no, dude. Like I remember when it started happening, and I would say to myself, like, is nobody else looking at this? Can nobody
It's
else see
not
this?
Mexican. I told everybody, man. I said this shit is a lie. The Muslims. I was like them Arabs, man. I'm telling you, man. If you guys go into a bank and you see who, you'd be surprised, man, what they look like.
Mm.
You'd be surprised what they
Somalis,
look like.
the Sri Lankans, you know what I mean? The what was the one when they had the
John.
earthquake in
John, I'm
2003?
telling you, man.
You know what I mean? Like all these groups come in, and then we just allow them to segregate themselves, and we're like, oh, that's their culture. And it's just like, no, this is the same thing we were arguing about in the first place. You know what I mean? Like we like to desegregate, to be a melting pot. But then it's just like everybody just got in their own corner. And for the last like since COVID, it's 70% of the job growth and the job coming back was first generation of foreign born.
Yep.
That's not an accident, dude. They're not
That's
just
purpose.
better than the rest of us.
That's on purpose, yeah.
It's totally on purpose.
Oh yeah, well they told us they were going to teach us a lesson because we got too uppity,
Yes. Do you
Well,
and
remember?
then
know-
COVID made it worse. They did COVID. They wanted us to be more like China and to work from home. American corporations wouldn't have it, and they try to make people go back to work. People were like, "Wait a minute! I lost my job. I had no income, and I had to spend my time at home, and I'm still alive.
But
I can
they-
still
yeah,
feed my family. There's still food on the table, and I get to spend my time with my children and my family. I don't have to work 10 hours a day, 80 hours a week, and I can still survive other ways to survive. And I tightened my belt. I got rid of the 3 different types of Netflix subscriptions, and I'm still here." And it blew up in their face because a lot of people just never went back to work. And then the corporations were like, "Well, y'all are getting way too uppity. You want decent pay, you want a livable wage, you want healthcare benefits, you want to be able to afford rent. Well, we'll show you. We'll show you your place."
Yeah, like you want to be paid the same wage while you're working at home, but your wage is partially to the state that you live in, right? Because you have to account for travel, right? And then the other one is like state tax and all this shit. Like they keep finding these federal workers that are living in other states, but they're getting money from like New Jersey, but they're living in Virginia. That's a completely different state tax. Like you're making the same money, but you're not contributing to the same part of the state. You know what I mean? So now they're trying to adjust all this. And then like nobody was talking about the repo markets that were going in with these corporations when they were losing their ass off of the buildings that they had to rent. You know, they had to rent because it's a law that you have to have a building that can hold these amount of workers.
Brick and mortar.
Even if they're not there, you still have to provide that size building. You know what I mean? And this is like this is why I'm very anti-union, because the unions, like everybody's like, oh, you better thank a union for all this other shit. And it's just like, no, we should have got those rights as workers to begin with. It shouldn't have had to been a fucking union to do it, because if you look at what the union has done, they just pushed out innovation to other countries at the end of the day.
Yep, that's all they've done. Yep,
That's all they did.
yep. They said, "Oh, y'all want to get uppity? We're gonna bring in people who will do the shit for $10 an hour."
Yeah. Like right now, dude, like I was struggling for like 5 or 6 months, couldn't find any work, dude. I had filled out my resume and emailed it to the largest construction companies in the area. Dude, within an hour, I got 5 callbacks from the top 10 companies, right? Because my last name is Hispanic. Once they learned I didn't speak Spanish and I got a social security number, none of them were interested in me. You know what I mean?
I'll never forget the first time my Hispanic sounding name got me in first at the hospital at the emergency room. And then the look of disappointment when they saw how white I was.
My last name is Martinez, but John Martinez is a huge name. So that's why I use Strives, because it's easier to find me. And it's like a collection of all my family's last names. You know what I mean? So like it's my own identity. But when you look up when like it's like John Martinez, like you look and it's just like fucking, they think like automatically. Some lady the other day asked me if my real first name was Juan. I'm like, no, like my mom is Irish. You know what I mean? My father's from Puerto Rico. It's just like, but it's the identification that we've all fallen tricked to. Like, oh, if you're Hispanic, you work harder. No, that's not fucking true. That's why I kept bringing, like, once you brought up the Empire State Building, I stayed on that. Look up the videos of when they were fucking working on the Empire State Building. There was no safety harnesses. There was none of this shit that you see everybody wearing nowadays in these fucking machines that follow the fucking thing up. That had to be done by hand. Everything was done by hand. The rivets were done by hand. You know what I mean? And it was still a low death rate compared to like what it is average now. But they didn't have any safety fucking equipment. It's like, yeah, they work harder, yeah, because they're coming from a part of the world where they make in a day what they would make in a year in some parts of these fucking world, and they're bringing it back to their own country. So what are we doing?
This is the real power of of America that we're not using, in my opinion, is access to our markets, right? These people that are fucking with us, we should shut down access to to our markets and use that as a way to keep corporations in line. It's okay. So you don't want to be American corporations anymore. You want to be ultranational. You want to take all the jobs and move them overseas so that you can, make things for a fraction of the price. And then you're not allowed to sell it here. Now what?
We will tax you the difference through tariffs.
John, you want to know, and Dan, y'all want to know what I thought, and I've always thought this, and this is recently, is that they making sure that GameStop never happens again. When that Reddit group came with the idea of, hey, y'all, that's become multimillionaires overnight, and they did it together, they want to make sure.
And they beat the hedge funds.
And they want to say that can never happen again. This is the reason why they're doing all this stuff.
A cryptocurrency, same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they came in and like Jamie Dimon was telling everybody you're a fool if you buy it. But at the same time, Jamie Dimon was investing in it. You know what I mean? Like he was telling everybody not to do it. And we look at Jamie Dimon like he's some kind of Yo, I remember there's this Russian radio station. And their name is like Vivaldi and Lexus, I think. Lexus and Vivaldi. They have a Rumble channel, dude.
Oh yeah, the prank callers.
Yes, bro. When they did it to Chairman Powell in like 2018, and Chairman Powell said we have to bring wages down because right now, like our structure is based off the European structure. And that's what Trump is breaking right now. Like Trump is taking all of their manufacturing and bringing it here. And what's the big company out of France that owns all the car companies?
Mercedes?
No, it's like Fiat, I think. Chrysler.
Diamond Chrysler.
They own everything, right? And when you look back and like, why did we not buy their companies? Because there was a law against it in Japan, in France, and throughout Europe, where it's like you can't buy their companies, but they could buy yours. So they bought all our companies. Anheuser-Busch was bought by fucking Beck. You know what I mean? Like where does most of the fucking beer get drank in the world? It's in America. We drink more beer in this country than the rest of the world combined, I think. Like it's fucking crazy the fact that we didn't have the money, but these companies in other countries did. Now Trump's reversing that to where all these companies are being laid off right now over across the seas, and they're freaking the fuck out because they don't know what to do. Even with the insurance rates on the boats for the oil in the Persian Gulf, the Europeans threatened everybody. That's why they don't go through, because they're like, if you go through there, we're going to strip you of your insurance. Trump's like, fuck that. We'll make our own insurance. Everybody else will be insured through us.
I remember some Mexican talking about this a couple weeks ago. he was saying, that Trump's doing all these things, behind the scenes to make Americans shit better, and everybody was like, no, that ain't what happening. This is happening. He's doing this, he's doing that, and now here we are talking about the topic. That's crazy.
Yo, dude, I'm telling you, you look up people like Susan Kakinda, Rich Does Politics, Professor Anga, or some shit like that. These people are all like they're economic experts and historians and all this shit, and they're talking about it, but nobody's watching these people. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to sit there and tell me about fucking, like, in real world, in real life. They want to sit there and tell me what they saw on CNN. Like, that's not real news, dude. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if it's Fox, CNN, MSNBC. All of that shit is fake news. Like, I don't know if people remember how fast Fox News turned on Donald Trump after Jan 6. Everybody wanted this motherfucker to go to jail, and he didn't even say what they were telling everybody that he was saying. But it is, and I wrote a song a long time ago. It's like, I have never seen a billionaire patron. You go hold your breath, but I'm not waiting. But it's just like, that's the only fucking dude that I've ever seen that is coming and completely rip the old world apart, dude. And it has like the 330 something year European hegemony it's gone, bro. Yo, when he came out with the Monroe doctrine, like, that changed the entire game, and nobody's paying attention to this. They want to keep talking about all the sweetheart deals his kids get. Fuck that, dude. All the manufacturing, everything is coming back to America. Our refineries are opening up. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna gain dominance to the point where we don't have to be the number one leader in the fucking world. We'll be number 2, number 3 in every market.
Damn,
he just got home.
You made it home. Thank you. You made it safe. That's all I care about. I hope it was safe. And I'm drunk. Yes. And then check your Discord too. I'm
on my last beer.
Last beer. It's still early for y'all, man. Aren't y'all all across the world like hours behind me or something?
Dude, I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're on the East Coast. Hell yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my father lives down in Deltona, bro. Like, I'll be down in Florida.
Where's Bear at? How late you staying up, Bear? Bear go away?
No, what'd you say?
I said, how late you staying up?
Can I read something real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I asked the AI, is manufacturing returning to America? The AI
Did it laugh at you? Did it laugh at you?
No. Said, yes, manufacturing is returning to America, but the nature of this resurgence differs significantly from the mid-20th century industrial boom.
Mm-hmm.
The trend, known as reshoring, is driven by a combination of geopolitical instability, government incentives, and a recalibration of total cost of ownership rather than just labor costs.
Yeah.
While high-volume, low-margin assembly may not fully return, high-tech, automated, and critical supply chain manufacturing is seeing substantial growth. The U.S. manufacturing sector is experiencing a revitalization, reversing decades of offshoring. According to recent data, factory activity has hit multi-year highs, with significant investments announced across various sectors. The Reshoring Initiative reports that combined reshoring and foreign direct investment announcements have brought over 1.6 million manufacturing jobs to the United States since 2010, with a notable acceleration in recent years. In 2022 alone, over 350,000 jobs were announced. This trend is supported by the Institute for Supply Management's Manufacturing Index, which has shown consecutive months of expansion, indicating broad strength in the sector. However, the definition of return is nuanced. While industrial production volume is near all-time highs, inflation adjusted, the type of manufacturing has shifted. The U.S. is reclaiming sophisticated high-value production rather than labor-intensive assembly, which often moves to nearby countries like Mexico, nearshoring, rather than returning directly to the United States. The key drivers of reshoring are as follows. Several critical factors are compelling companies to bring production back to the United States. Supply chain resilience and risk mitigation. The C-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and geopolitical tensions with China have exposed the fragility of global supply chains. Companies are prioritizing security of supply over the lowest possible unit cost. Shorter supply chains allow for faster response times. Producing a product domestically can reduce delivery from 6 weeks to a few days. Government incentives and policy. Federal legislation has played a pivotal role. The CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act provide billions in subsidies, tax credits, and grants. These incentives specifically target semiconductors, electrical vehicles, and clean energy manufacturing, making domestic production financially stable. Additionally, tariff enforcement under recent administrations has increased the cost of importing certain goods, further encouraging domestic production.
Yeah.
And rounding out the top three is total cost of ownership. Executives are increasingly adopting a total cost of ownership model rather than focusing solely on labor. When factoring in shipping costs, inventory carrying costs,
Patents.
quality control issues, intellectual property, theft risks, and travel expenses for oversight, the cost advantage of offshore manufacturing has diminished. Rising labor costs in China, now roughly 1.3 times higher than in some Southeast Asian nations, relative to productivity, have also narrowed the gap.
Yeah.
And lastly, automation and technology. Advancement in robotics, AI, and Industry 4.0 technologies have reduced the reliance on manual labor. Highly automated factories can operate competitively in the United States despite higher wages because labor constitutes a smaller percentage of the total cost.
Yeah.
This allows for lights out manufacturing,
Yeah.
where production is efficient and less dependent on large workforce.
Yeah, no unions involved, and people aren't paying attention again. Like they haven't caught to the plan. This is why Trump was saying we should own 51% of these companies. You know what I mean? Is because like it's not going to be a labor intensified workforce. It's going to be a robotics industry, right?
Yep.
This is why Pittsburgh is going to be one of the robotics capitals of America. It has been planned for this for the last like 10, 15 years that Pittsburgh was going to be our robotics capital. Now they're bringing back all this manufacturing and industry, but they don't need the amount of workforce that they once did. So everything is automated. So we have to tax them the difference. So we will own more of a portion of what, like we own our fair share as a country because like we are the global market for these places to sell to in the first place. So, you know what I mean? Like it's a giant plan that's coming into fruition. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what's going to happen after Trump goes, bro. It's not going to be the same, dude. He's the only motherfucker that's working like this, bro. Like, I don't trust Vance. I don't trust if anybody, I would trust Vance than anybody else. But Marco Rubio is a snake. He always has been. He'll go with the flow as it goes. But like, I like what he says. You know what I mean? So it would be Vance Rubio, 2028 over anybody else. But if you look at the way that the politics is going right now, it is moving into the socialist mindset, but we have to create a new type of socialism.
Damn.
You know what I mean? To where it's a capitalistic type of socialism, to where, and this is
Market socialism.
Yes, because if you are an inventor and you have a patent, you would much rather go to fucking Omaha or go to Kansas City or go to one of these places to where they're building all these or Indianapolis where they're building all these places and get your patent and your idea put through than you would go to China. I know a guy that he's in the plumbing industry that he has multiple patents out for saunas, cold saunas, hot saunas, all this technology. And he goes to China. Now, he's only allowed to visit one site. and there's 4 that are making his technology. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, because they don't want you to see what they're doing. They're literally, and this happened with the when all the luxury brands started going under. You know, like they were like showing you, okay, we basically make everything out of the same factory. You know what I mean? The knockoffs and the real shit. It all comes out of the same factory because they have no respect for patent laws in China.
None.
You know, yeah, we barely have it in America because the Texas, all the patent laws go through Texas, and that's been a scam within its own system. But we as American citizens can fix this as long as we start paying attention. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point. If people don't pay attention, if people aren't aware of what's really going on and how the game is really being played, then we will lose regardless. All of this will be for nothing.
Yeah, I just don't see anybody being able to see it through. You know, like this is.
Nope, they won't.
It's not about the specific policies. It's about the fuck you attitude, right? Like
Yeah.
that attitude where I know what I have and you can't take it from me. That's the kind of leadership that we just haven't had in this country since Reagan. And I don't see it happening. Like Vance is a cuck. You know, his wife holds his balls in her purse. How's he supposed to lead a nation?
This is what I'm saying. Like, and he's the only other one that we can look at. Like, my fear is that right before the election, Mark Cuban's gonna jump in. And like I'm torn, you know what I mean? Because like Mark Cuban is very liberal, but at the same time, like his ideals towards America, towards anybody else, is the closest thing I see to Trump. You know what I mean? But like I don't trust. Like he's more of like he only gives a fuck about the money. He doesn't care about the legacy. To me,
Right.
Trump cares about his legacy. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be remembered as a president that did all these things. But he has to have a predecessor. If he doesn't have the right predecessor, all of this is for nothing.
And
like,
he's proven to be bad at that.
Yes, dude. You look at Amy Coney Barrett, you know, like he was talking to her to be the Supreme Court justice. She's one of the worst picks he's fucking made. You know, and he's made some bad picks over his 2 courses, but like I sit back and I think, man, like how different the country would have been if he would have been
Not
back to back.
ran. If he not ran, sure.
If he would have went back to back, dude, we would have been asking for him to take a 3rd term. We would have suspended the 26th Amendment or something. You know what I mean? But it's just because he's not perfect, but he had the right mindset going into it.
He had the mindset that we needed, man. That's what we really. That's what it really was, and I seen it back in 2016 that he has the mindset we need, man. And I don't understand how people don't see that, man.
Yo, like in my state of New Jersey, the ICE has come in and taken a couple, like 200,000 or something like that, or 100,000 out. And Mikey Sherrill is taking credit for the rents dropping. And it's like, no, the reason why the rents dropped is because there's not as many people fighting for this shit. Even though they're building, by me, bro, in Monmouth County, they're building so many fucking new places right now. The traffic is ridiculous. And they haven't even opened up these places. Netflix is
ain't
moving out
nobody.
here.
Yep.
It like in one place alone, there's a town called Red Bank. In Red Bank alone, they're building a condominium that's going to have like 600 new apartment buildings, and there are like 900 new cars that are going to be in the area. Bro, traffic is so congested as it is. It would be crazy to think another 900 cars are going to be like in this area. And that's not even counting Asbury Park. You know what I mean? Like everywhere around me, they're growing, but they're not worried about infrastructure. They're not worried about anything else because all of our local politicians have been paid off. Like if you look at, I don't know if you guys watch OMG, O'Keefe Media. They did a thing where they exposed some of the Antifa groups and shit. And one of them was this guy, Keedy, and he was a fucking council member in Asbury Park. And he was one of the people that was leading the fucking marches to go into what's called like one of the main Democratic politicians in America, well, in New Jersey, is this guy named Bob Menendez, and he doesn't use the junior because his fucking father was a senator, and he was exposed of taking bribes from foreign governments.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and now like they all, oh, Bob Menendez this, Bob Menendez that, and I'm like, no, you mean Bob Menendez Jr. You know what I mean? But like they play these fucking games and people don't pay attention. Like I have customers where most of my customers are total liberals, and like they hate Trump, yo, they fucking hate him, and it's just like they don't realize what's going on. You know, they complain to me about the prices,
media
and all
got
that
them.
stuff.
The media
Yeah.
got them.
They're all watching CNN when I walk in their house, bro. And it's just like, you need to turn that shit off. That shit is poison.
Yeah, they don't believe you, man. They don't believe you.
One of my favorite quotes is from Two Seat TV. I don't know if you guys ever watch him. He's on YouTube. He's trying to come to America now. He's Persian. He's Iranian, but he's against the IRGC. He always says, "You take Trump. What is it? What did he say? You don't take Trump literally. You take him seriously. You know what I mean? So the things that he says aren't always what he's going to do, but believe that he will do it if he has to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Trump, like, okay, the Iran situation is
Trump's
one thing.
about it. That's what you're just saying. You're just saying Trump's about it.
Yeah,
He runs
dude.
the streets. He can be out in them streets.
Yo, it makes me sick watching Alex Jones turn on him like this, dude. Because Alex Jones, I was for Trump before Alex Jones, and I've been watching Alex Jones for years.
Don't forget, he still owe that billion, man. So I'm pretty sure they you know, they told him, hey, if you do this, you know, this or this will go away.
And the
just like Candace Owens, you know, hey, you know, we see a future with you, Candace. Hey, Tucker, we see a future with you.
Yeah,
we just need you guys to turn.
I don't know about Candace.
No, she is too. She is too, man.
No, but Tucker Carlson is I believe they're trying to run Tucker for the president.
Yeah, they told Tucker, man, we see a future with you, man. We just need you to turn.
You mean to tell me Tucker Carlson didn't fucking know his dad was working for the CIA?
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What a joke, bro. Like, and then he's sitting there talking about, like, he went to Israel. Israel released a tape of him in the airport. And he was like, oh, they held us what's called. He was laughing, joking with the security guards. Like, it's a security measure. You know what I mean?
It's a game, man.
Yeah, man. Like, and he's over here talking all this shit. And then, like, I saw a video from Tucker Carlson not too long ago. He has some good shows. But then, like, you'll watch the next one and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, he's on aliens and all this other shit. And I'm just like, yo, I don't even give a fuck about aliens, bro. I'll be honest.
Remember when he was on Fox, man, he was like this super right and everything. And then now, man, look at he talking about aliens and the Anunnaki. And, man, he be talking, man.
What's wrong with the aliens and the Anunnaki, man?
Dude, it's just like,
it's not. No, it's go ahead, John.
No, that's one of those things where it's like when I was talking to Eric earlier and I was explaining to him, like, yo, you're trying to get into spiritualism. We're talking about politics. We're talking about facts. You're talking about opinions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're trying to fix the system. You can't even talk to me about spiritualism until we can fix our political system.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I get you on what you mean.
Like, we've lost our way, even though, like, you might not be a Christian. I'm not a Christian either, but, like, I believe in Christian ethics, and the way that they've set up society is the best way that society has worked. Not to say, like, it won't get better through a different system or a spiritual awakening. Like, I love science, bro. I love, like, learning about space and all this shit, but it's like, that's second nature to politics to me. Because as much as you want to think about, like, what could be out there, it's like, no, dude, like, what are we doing right now is the most important thing. You know what I mean? Like scientists have like, they predict, like, they say, if you look at the edge of the solar system, like, all they see is ones and zeros. And it's just like, oh, that's where a lot of people are like, oh, we're in a simulation. And it's like, yo, we don't even understand what a simulation is. You know what I mean? We're thinking of it from a computer perspective. But like these are building blocks that like to put it like this, we're using computers to solve problems, like quantum computers to solve problems in our scientific world right now that we couldn't solve for 100 years, but they solved it in 26 seconds or 26 minutes, some shit like that, you know? And it's just like, that's why I was explaining to Eric earlier. It's just like Michio Kaku predicted by 2050 that we would be able to download, but by the time you're like 2 or 3 years old, they could download any amount of information into you. You know, you'll be 10 times smarter than Einstein when you're 4 years old.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're in the Matrix, you know what I mean? But it's like it's not like we're in an actual computer simulation. It's just like we are looking at this through the computer model, you know? But like quantum computing is way different. Like honestly, I'll be honest with y'all. I think quantum computers are made of human brain matter.
Yeah, I thought about that too. They had an episode. If you guys watch,
I never thought.
yeah, what's that show? Black Mirror. They had an episode.
Yeah, they got an episode about it.
But I'm gonna grab this off of my channel. I made this video. This is like one of the only fucking videos I ever made. But I'm gonna show y'all this fucking video that I have on here. Oh shit, hold on. Yo, I got a K9 video out here. That's what, because I was looking up earlier for the K9 videos. But I'm gonna show y'all this fucking video that I made years ago. It's called Biochip. People don't understand what biochips actually are. You know what I mean? They're made of human brain matter. And this has been studied all around the world. And this is what I think that are in the quantum computers, because like when they show you I'm going to put it in the back chat right now. When they show you these things, like what they're loading them into, and this is like in the early 2000s, late 90s.
There's a lady that was on the Sean Ryan show talking about that, I think 3 weeks ago. About
Sean Ryan?
Yeah, he had a guest. There's a lady that was talking about that, and now human matter, the brain and the body, will be. She did talk about that.
Was it Tori Maris?
I don't want to say a name.
Yo,
but it was on there.
Tori Says, bro. Tori Says blows my fucking mind on a weekly basis, bro. And I don't believe everything she says because she was trained by John Brennan. Like she was part of the psych ops before it was even known. She was she graduated from Annapolis. They try to pretend like she didn't even exist, but she has all the documentation. She was, if you ever watched the Stop the Steal documentary from what's her name? The girl who was on InfoWars, but she got fired when she put out the thing exposing a lot of this shit. Like it goes so deep, bro.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, her name is Tori Maris, and there's like Peter Berge is another one where she loves Peter Berge, but she doesn't agree with him. Watch this video. I gotta take a piss, but just turn this on. It's only like 4 minutes.
Cortical Labs is a company that's developed the world's first biological computer. What I mean by biological computer is that unlike using artificial neural networks, we grow real biological neurons into networks onto computer chips. How we do that is that we take from stem cells into brain cells or neurons that we then use them for compute and intelligence.
Other scientists use a completely different approach. They take the brain cells apart and let them
Einstein,
grow in a small dish.
pause it real quick. Now, Einstein, I know you don't believe in the Bible, right? Now, do you see when Jesus says, like, just like in the days of Noah, will be like in the last days?
No, what I see here is genetic alterations, which are doing to human DNA.
Do you think this is new? You think this is new? You think this never happened before?
I think this is how we were created.
No, I think this is how the Nephilim was created.
Nope.
All right, I'm back. Don't worry
I
about
think-
the beat. That's my beat.
I think this is how the Nephilim was created, Einstein.
Kind of
This
the
is
story.
how
of it.
giants. This is how giants. This is how giants were created.
And
No,
listen,
this is how transformations are going to happen to the human biological system.
this
It's
is
right here.
biochips, bro. This is what it's called. Now, I showed you what I did is I conjoined two videos that are like 25 years apart. Now, the chip is the same. It's the same fucking chip. That's why I cut it and I bring it to the other one. The chip is the same, yet they're trying to explain to everybody that this guy in Europe, this Asian dude in Europe, created this technology. No, the fuck he didn't. This was created in a lab in Florida.
On top of a computer chip. The problem with this technique is that it is extremely difficult to place each cell exactly on the right connection port. A team of researchers at IMEC has recently found the trick. They printed a pattern on the chip of the product that the brain cells love to eat. While consuming the product, the cells get stuck to the right spot and their tentacles are guided by the pattern. This way, the whole network of brain cells can be entirely controlled.
Her name was Luisa Nicola. She talked about that neuroscience on the Sean Ryan show.
Say that again.
Luisa Nicola.
That's the one that he was talking about earlier, right?
I don't know if that's the same person, but she talks about it. Neuroscience and how Elon Musk and a couple of the other leading, I don't know, companies or whatever in the world that
That's
they've already
Neuralink.
tested.
Shit, but I'm
That's Neuralink. If you look up Neuralink,
The Neuralink network. Yes.
is
That's one of
it's
them.
a brain. It's your brain being attached to other brains. That's what it is.
It'll be all in one. Like everybody would,
The
you would
hive
be in
mind.
sync. Yep.
It'll be
yeah.
that. It'll be the hive mind. Thank that man. This is how it
Some
was
scientists-
in the old days. That's why I'm telling Einstein that man. The Bible is telling you what's going to happen. It's telling you to play.
The tech is here now, though. Like the tech
Yeah.
has been here. Watch this, because this video is like early 2000s, late 90s. You could see it through the technology that they're using. This shit ain't new.
That's what I said. This is not new. This is old technology.
Yeah.
It's just to us, it's new.
Yeah.
have already been experimenting with such brain dishes. Their chips were less precise, but their results sometimes remarkable.
Let me disconnect the light show.
Dr. DeMars, for instance, tries to communicate with his brain dishes and teach them several tasks.
So each of these dishes contains about 20,000 or so neurons, which are firing away as we speak. So each one's an individual network, and they'll fire spontaneously.
Thinking.
Hybrid
That's
biological
man.
chips could be a more sustainable and efficient solution in fields such as robotics, but they could also be useful when testing new drugs.
So if you have something in a in vitro or in a dish model, and you can actually test it out before you put it into a human, and have an increased chance of success, I think this is going to be a game changer for the industry.
A chip that learns fast and is energy efficient. Cortical Labs hopes Dish Brain will mark
Now
the
watch.
beginning of a chip
Watch. You see that chip, right?
revolution.
Watch.
We take living rat neurons, and they will rapidly form
It's the same
a
fucking
neural
chip, dude.
network. And we have this grid of electrodes underneath the surface of these living neurons, and we can listen to the conversation among the neurons. And we can also
See that? Pause that right there.
activity within.
That is a fucking quantum computer interlink right there. That's crazy shit, dude. Like all they did is they changed the surrounding shell. You know what I mean? That's on that chip, but that chip is the same exact chip, and they're loading into a quantum computer like this is 25 years ago. Now watch what they're training it to do. Watch this.
That network, we can send in different patterns of stimulation and look at how the network changes as a result of those stimulations. And that's how we do what we do.
What he does is to teach his brain dishes how to control an airplane.
The network can essentially fly the aircraft in a pretty optimal way. So it won't overcorrect too much, and it'll be able to stabilize it in a wide variety of conditions. I think I've programmed like a 50-knot crosswind into this one. That was what it looks like. You can see it, the aircraft, when it hits one of these crosswinds, how it begins to oscillate. The oldest dish that I've had is 2 years. And the only reason why that dish died was because we were moving the lab from Caltech to Georgia Tech. Otherwise, that dish would probably still be alive today. Each dish has a characteristic, so you can learn to recognize one dish from another dish. They're demanding, though. You have to feed them.
Why is he calling them a dish, though? What does that mean? Dish.
Did you hear what he said? He said they're demanding you have to feed them once a week.
Right. Yeah.
And
This is a living thing. There's like in science and biology class, a petri dish. You put bacteria, so it's evolving and it's learning and it's growing. So it's in this regard, it's a fucking microchip, which is it's kind of scary because once it grows and it goes, you really can't predict what it's gonna do.
But when he says dish, to me it's like I'm giving this to the people. Like people are eating this. It's a dish.
You gotta feed it. You gotta feed it once a week. He said.
Yeah.
And they all have their own personality. So one dish is better than the other at certain things.
So if it goes in a human, it'll start eating away at the human and replacing it with its own.
So, John, since you were on the quantum computer here, did you see when one of the quantum? Oh, I don't know which one. I don't know if it's one, but it was asked how the universe was created. Did you see that video? Or did you see that report? It returned. So it bypassed religion and creatures and creations, and it gave back like a blueprint with like source code and all kinds of things. It's kind of scary, but it makes you think a whole lot too.
There's IBM. IBM makes the leading quantum computer, and they have these interlocutive quantum computers, right? Now they have to have their own operators from IBM to come in because like they don't want people to know. They got to fucking feed this thing. You know what I mean? But also, like, there's a company that works.
Google has one too.
There's a company that works with Amazon, and it's called D-Wave. And D-Wave, if you go to their fucking website, they closed their website down because it got exposed. But D-Wave is running these fucking supercomputers, these quantum computers. Like, people don't even realize where we're at in technology. Like, you go to John Craig Venter, who was the guy who mapped the human genome. He's one of the inventors of the CRISPR machine. He patented the human genome, and everybody got pissed off about that because it was like, oh, you're privatizing. No, what he basically did is because when Jonas Salk discovered the cure for polio, he said you can't patent the sun, but somebody patented that after he died. You know what I mean? So what he did is John Craig Venter is he took the fucking technology and he privatized it so nobody could take it from him. So he could just give it to everybody for free. But they villainized him. Now, John Craig Venter, he's been using this technology to where they can take spit, like you could spit in a fucking cup, and they can genetically map out what your face looks like. And that he gave that in a TED Talk. He told you that in a TED Talk. Like, we're so beyond like the point of history. There was another one where I have a video. There was a video I found years ago, and it's on BitChute, that this guy he's giving a class to the military people, and he's explaining to them how when they discovered like the human cell can hold 6 terabytes of information. He said that this is where espionage is right now, to where like Chinese scientists are downloading information into their cells. And they're just walking out of the fucking country with it. You know what I mean? Like, and they show you, like, there's a commercial from, I think it was IBM, where they show you, there's original video of a horse. It's one of the oldest videos ever recorded. It was from like 1860 of a man riding a horse, and the horse is moving. You know what I mean? But this is from like 1860. And they showed you from when they discovered this technology to where they could put a picture into somebody's, like, hide it behind a cell, right? And you could see it, but like within 3 to 6 months, they were able to make moving images and hide them in cells. Like this is where we're at in technology, man. We're so far into the game that, like, you know, all this shit about diseases and how we can't cure it, that's all lies, bro. They already have cures for everything. They already know our entire, like, there's another one that was in CNN. I remember watching it on CNN where there was and you guys talked about this, the domestic fox, right? There's a guy in Russia that's been raising foxes for years. And he domesticated foxes, this one breed, and they compared that, and this is what the main headline story is. They compared the DNA to that fox to a wild fox, and they discovered the domestication gene. So this gene is that the one that they could turn on and off and make you docile. You know what I mean? And like it goes, they can tune you like a fucking piano, bro.
Well,
Like,
that's
to
we talked about like a couple months ago about frequencies and how every person has like their own unique tune, I guess, to a frequency. That's why some people can get sad, happy, like whenever they hear certain music,
Yes.
because music is played at a certain frequency. So if you do that with DNA, brainwave, and everything, it messes with so much. Not so messes with DNA, but it like the DNA strand almost like removes some things on the strand that's not so, that I guess like cancers and shit like that.
once you map it out, like, you know how to hit switches.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is where we're at, dude. We're at that point to where they can, that's what I'm saying. Like, people either have to get into this now or they'll just hit the fucking switch and we'll all just be like a bunch of zombies. You know,
Mhm.
they have race specific bioweapons. Like, all of this shit is real, bro. And people just like think like, oh, you know, COVID happened, and no, dude, that was the ultimate test.
That was a test run.
They were guinea pigging on us.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's why I told people, do not get that damn shot, man.
Mm-hmm.
I told people, don't do it, man. It's like all they doing is getting you ready for the mark of the beast.
Yo, dude,
I got the first one.
I got Bell's palsy a year and a half ago. It went away after like 3 or 4 weeks, but all the doctors thought I got the shot. And I was like, no, I haven't gotten the vaccine since I was like a teenager, you know. But they were just, it was stress related. But they all kept thinking, they all kept asking me, all the doctors, all the nurses, oh, did you take the shot? You know, because like this has been a common occurrence in that. And it's like, what would that have to do with neural if it's a shot against a vaccine?
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? Like they and then like you go.
That means they know something. That means they
Yes.
know something.
If they don't even know, even if they're not paying attention to what's going on, if they're just paying attention to the illnesses that are related to that, like they should be putting 2 and 2 together, but they don't want to. You know what I mean? Like it's a crazy world we're living in, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like I be sitting back and I be listening. I'll be like, yeah, like they're not there yet. They're close, but we're not. You know what I mean? People aren't there yet to what's really going on.
That's crazy, man. You think there'd be like a age of like where like I guess not so much exposed, but like I guess it's like majority of the world's gonna have to know something, or like when shit just kind of breaks loose and it gets out of hand.
Yeah, we're at the precipice of this, dude. We're right on the cusp of it to where they can fucking just like, and it's like you remember what's the guy's name? Well, he was talking about how he was a close friend of Rockefeller's, and how Rockefeller was telling him like, oh, you know, in the future, you know, you don't do what we say, we'll just turn off your chip. They don't even need to put a fucking chip into you now.
That's fucking wild, man. It's like not to talk about like aliens and movies like that, but I think who was it? I think it was Joe Rogan had somebody on his podcast where like Hollywood directors like the Terminator, these alien movies and shit.
Yeah, War of the Worlds.
Yeah, like how they, like how these ideas just come about, but these people actually know people like in the government.
Yes.
These NASA scientists, they talk to them, and then in return, they turn those ideas into like movies and prep people up.
Yo, do you guys know where Elon was named after? You don't hear a lot of people name Elon, right?
No.
Do you know that Werner von Braun, who was the lead scientist to the Saturn IX rocket,
They say
he was
named after a damn alien or something like that.
he was named after a science fiction book that Werner von Braun wrote because he created the Saturn IX rocket to get to Mars. Because the Nazis believe that there's something on Mars that we'll figure, we'll find out where humans, actually came from, or some crazy shit like that, right? But Werner von Braun wrote a book about space travel into Mars and how Mars was ruled actually by 4 of these like godlike creatures, where they were called the 4 Elons. And his grandfather is a huge technocrat. It's just like who's the guy who discovered evolution? Darwin. Darwin was not the inventor of evolution. He was the one that actually proved that evolution is real. His grandfather taught him that. So if you ever watch National Treasure, you remember how National Treasure, the kid's grandfather was the one that inspired Nicolas Cage. It was his grandfather that inspired him in all these tales. His father didn't want to believe it. So it skipped. His father went to him, and he was the one that cracked the code. Like, that's the same thing as fucking Elon Musk is fucking, you know what I mean?
Is that why Elon is trying to go to Mars and do like a permanent one way? Is that what he's trying to go there? Do a one way trip there?
Exactly. Because it's going to be 6 months there, 6 months back, or some shit like that. But you got to be there for a certain amount of time because of the way that the Mars and Earth circle each other. Like, there's basically there's a catch time. You know what I mean?
Shoot. Yeah, you have to slingshot the right time. Yeah.
So
that's crazy, man.
His rockets are going so fast now, bro. They're going so fast. And it's just like, what the fuck is this guy? He was originally like an engineer, but like his original investments were in like Squarespace or some shit like that. PayPal. You know what I mean? And then
I did see I saw how he was engineering the Raptor engine and how he like basically it don't even look like a fucking rocket no more or a motor. It looks like a big tube. But he said he goes. I forgot what he told Joe Rogan, but it was an insane number how fast he was going.
In the first one.
Yeah. It was a crazy number.
He's got 33 of them connected to a rocket. That number, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
33. 33.
That's how many they use on that Starlink.
That's fucking wild.
Like, all of this shit is connected, bro. And it's just like, we're living in the times where everything can change if we can just get a hold of this. And Trump is the only one that is actually just trying to expose a semblance of this shit. And that's why I like you hear me, you hear what I talk about, you hear how I think. Like, Trump is the only motherfucker I would trust to do this because he's worried more about his legacy than anything else. So like when people start talking about Trump and all this other shit, I'm just like, dude, no other president has ever, even Reagan, dude, right? Reagan has been you remember, like, I don't know if you guys know about Lebanon, how Lebanon was the last Christian country in that area. And how Hezbollah is actually North Palestinians that were pushed out of their land from the Israel. When Israel formed, they kept taking more and more land early. Now, when you look at Israel, they wear these badges on their shoulder that kind of looks like the UN flag, the UN picture, but it's a picture of the greater Israel, what they want. They want half of Lebanon, half of Jordan, half of Egypt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Everything,
yeah, and they've been slowly but surely acquiring this fucking land, and they wanted Gaza, and Trump was like, "No, we're going to take control of Gaza."
Yep, and that's the part that even the Democrats is, talking bad about. Oh, look here, told you he's a dictator. He's taking away their land. I'm like, no, shut up. You don't even understand. He's stopping something. He's stopping prophecy.
Mm-hmm. The North American Union, like where he's basically broken the North American. I don't know if you guys saw this. Like, I think I seen it today. He's basically canceling the North American Free Trade Union after he got them to agree with everything. Like, he's doing all this on purpose, bro.
John, this is how you know, man, that the next president of the United States, they might put a woman in there.
Mm-hmm.
They might put a woman in there.
That's what they've been going for since
'Cause
Trump.
they could control a woman.
It's easier to manipulate them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
So you tell them this shit, they're not gonna believe it, and sometimes like they won't even care. Because when we talk about like how people don't really pay attention, that's because like women have the right to vote as equal to men. But look, it's mostly men that really care about this shit because we know the consequences that will happen. You know, women just think
they only care about what it looks like visual. They care about it what it looks like visually. Oh, I'm ready for the next first woman. It's like, well, fuck that. What is she? Is she gonna speak up and
what is she gonna
face it? Like, what is she gonna do? I don't care about it. I just want her to be a woman. Oh, okay, yeah, you an ignorant fuck. You're an ignorant fuck.
It's all racial politics, racial identity.
She's gonna try to divorce the country, keep the White House.
This is why, like I always say, like Trump's gonna Trump, like he keeps talking about taking parts of Canada and taking parts of Mexico. Like Mexico can be its own state. You know what I mean? But like the plan is the North American Free Trade Union. That's always been the fucking plan. Is the North American Union between America, Canada, and Mexico. Like when the UN takes over the planet and you have Africa broken into two sections and Europe in one, and then they want to overthrow, they want to get Putin out of there, and then the Chinese are down with whatever. So it would just be these sections, like 7 sections of the planet, that they would all be ruled under the UN in one world order. Like Trump is breaking that whole fucking plan right now. He's like, fuck it, we might as well, it's like if like I knew it, and I came up here, it was either on Stanley Channel, and I was telling everybody, yo, listen, we're going into Venezuela because Stephen Miller declared it that Venezuela is a terrorist state. You know what I mean? Once they started calling cartels and shit terrorists, it was like, yo, that's where we're going. We're gonna do this now. And he slowly but surely, Venezuela and Iran together have way more oil than the Saudis.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yep.
And those are the only 2 countries that he's been interested in. It's on purpose, dude. It's not on accident. If we can change them out of first of all, the Saudis are done. And that's why they kind of like they're in a double-edged sword. Because once Iran falls, and Iran will fall. We could leave now and Iran will fall. Like it's $1 US dollar to like $1.3 million Iranian dollars.
People leave that country alive with whatever's left of it.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a civil war. They're in the middle of a 3-way civil war right now, and people don't realize it. You have the IRGC, which is the military branch fighting the political branch. And the military branch is basically run by the Ayatollah, but then you have the most of the country, which is they're Persians. They want to go back to the Shah, and the Shah already said he doesn't want to be the king. He just wants to be the symbol of the country. So like they would have their own, because like even the Shah, Iran has had their own constitution since 1907. They had Shahs up until the 1970s. You know what I mean? And it's been this one family that took over, but he brought Iran into the modern era from 41. He was overthrown by the Russians and the fucking Brits in 41. You know what I mean? Like the Soviets and the Brits were fighting in 41. But all of a sudden they're going to overthrow the same country. And do you know what the Shah was doing that they didn't like? He was bringing in the Jews.
Mm.
Yeah. And if you look at the Jews, like where did Israel come from? The Brits owned Palestine since after World War I. They took it from the Ottoman Empire, and he gave them that portion of the land because nobody wanted to bring them in. But the one country that was, you and the Soviets overthrew them. Like it's a power move. You know what I mean? Because the Shah of that time was the truth, man. He rebuilt this country, and that's when you see like they have pictures of the 70s when like Persian women were in bikinis and everybody was walking around, had nice cars. Then all of a sudden, like the IRGC takes over, which was supposed to be a revolutionary thing, and they destroyed that country. because it was easier to close them off and create a global hegemony over the oil markets, which was run through the Brits. London is not part of Great Britain. London is its own entity. That's why their Wall Street is one. London is the Lloyd's of London, which was one of the original banks. You know what I mean? London, and that's why you look at London's populace; it's 70% non-British. You know what I mean? That's where Vanna and all of them are from. Like it's like a universal landscape that like they're the hegemony of the financial world. You know how they always say like America is the military arm, London is the bank, and the Vatican is the church.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
That's the unholy trinity. That's what they call
unholy
it.
Trinity. And that goes back to the golden bull rule, the golden calf, the golden bull,
Yes,
where
sir.
every European country is ruled through the Vatican.
Yes, sir. That's why I keep let me be quiet. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No. I mean, I know a lot about a lot of these things. That's why I was trying to tell Einstein that you'd be surprised how many things that's going on in the world right now is attached to the Word of God, and how
things.
No, Dennison did. John just showed me a video that they are creating genetic biological chips that feed off the human body when installed. I say that's a construct of, not evolution, but of science and math and numbers and experimenting. So, yeah.
what do you think? What do you think angels were made out of, Einstein?
Bullshit, because they're not real.
Okay, so if you believe in aliens, right? What do you think an alien is made out of?
I don't know. I've never seen one. I can't even say that for an angel either. I've never seen one, so I don't know what it looks like, what it is, or what it ain't.
I think like me personally, right? I'm talking about me. I think angels are aliens.
I mean, they possibly could be. I just don't know whether
So
in this world and time whether saying that is clear these days, because I've been talking about the Anunnaki. I've been talking about other things like that.
That's Sumerian.
All this.
What are the Sumerians? Who are they?
Huh?
Who are the
One of the first civilizations.
Yes.
Yeah, but where are they at now?
They're gone.
Right.
No, but where were they from?
But supposedly from Mars.
No. Like, what geographic land were they in the Earth?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's Iraq.
Iraq and Iran, right?
Yeah.
Now, they've been trying to keep Iran a secret for how long? They don't want people to go into Iran and really look around at geographical sites.
They have those crazy sites where like it's impossible during that time for them to be carved. We can't even like redo anything that they have. Yeah. It's just impossible. I know what you mean. I've read a couple of books actually about that Samaria.
And the Anunnaki and the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, I think translate directly as those who fell from heaven.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It talks about all that. Yep. And even like if you don't read the Bible, if you look at these like civilizations, they tell you without having to even read the Bible what they saw. Like you don't have to look into something or believe people. You can just see and look. And even the locals, a lot of the locals are not allowed to be talked to by archaeologists in these areas. That's why they're escorted by people that go into Iraq and stuff. They are escorted all the time.
And then
you have people over there that tell you. You got people over there that tell you, we got giants in the mountains. There's giants.
Look at what ISIS did. ISIS, the first thing they did is they destroyed all of the shit that was in the museums that they were uncovering. That was the first thing that they did. You know what I mean? Like now, look, Anunnaki, and then you go to the Sumerians. Now, what is the original monotheistic religion? Monotheistic means one God. Who is the originator of one God?
Christianity.
No.
What's in the Middle East?
Zoroastrians. Zoroastrians are Persians, bro. They're Iranians.
Yeah. Ancient Persia. Yep.
They don't even have their original Bibles or their original text because they lost it. But when you look at the drawings that are on some of the monuments that were still remain, they are literally just energy vortexes. You know what I mean? Like there's circles within circles that are circled in circles. You know what I mean? And if you go to the east of them, that's what the Buddhists and the Hindus created their own religions around. You go to the west of it, that's where the crucifix and all these other religious symbols come from. Like most people don't even know, like Judaism originated from Yahwist and Kabbalist, which Kabbalist is like the power of numbers, and Yahwist believe that that's where Baal comes from. Baal was one of the three main gods, and the other one was, I can't remember, but this is where the term Elohim comes from, because they created the one God, which was around 300 years after Christ.
Yep.
You know, but then you go to like Judaism, and it's just like, it's not what people think it is. It's a cult. But they have knowledge that they basically tried to store within themselves, and Jesus was supposed to be the one that brought in everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Judaism basically had the concept of one single God. That's crazy, man.
But that's why they were brought in from Egypt, and at the same, from Egypt they also came from Babylon, which was old Samaria, Mesopotamia, the Ur dynasty before it was Babylon. Which is modern day Turkey, Iraq, Iran.
Turkey is such a fucking unique
area,
man. That if anything goes down in Turkey, like it's like a blowing whistle horn to battle for everybody.
Yeah, the horn. It's like the horn of Jericho.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at what they say, where did Abraham come from? Abraham was born between the Tigris and the Euphrates. Where is that at? It would either be in Syria or Iraq. You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with Israel. He was told to go to that land. It's there's all these stories that like you're told half truths, but then like where was the Tigris and Euphrates? That was in between that land. Who ruled that land before the Jews left there and went to Palestine? It was the fucking Zoroastrians, the original monotheistic one God religion. Like all of this shit is really, I always see it more as numerical. Like they were given knowledge that they didn't understand, but they tried to like hoard to themselves. And this is why Jesus came. Like there's these the lead tablets out of Jordan that said that like they predate back like far time, that said that Jesus wasn't actually Jewish, that he believed in this new religion, but the one God, you know what I mean? But he was raised Jewish, and that's why they always found him profound, is because he was speaking on new things. Now that is also led through John the Baptist. Nobody can ever explain to me why is John the Baptist so important in Christianity. John the Baptist was baptizing, which baptism is originally a Zoroastrian tradition. He was baptizing Gentiles, non-Jews, into the coming of the new Messiah. So he was a prophet within the prophecy. You know what I mean? And that's why when they cut his head off, like he had already been baptized, but he already baptized Jesus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It goes so much deeper than people think. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I want to be a Christian, man. Like I want to believe that, but there's something deeper to this. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that God's not real. Like I do believe in the one creator. I do. But like it's not to where like it's not like a guy just sitting in the clouds watching everybody. Like there is a creator to all of this. This is like even when you think
my bad. Go ahead, finish your thought, my bad.
Even when you think of like atheists talking about like, random, or no, like they'll be like, oh, randomness doesn't really happen in the universe.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna get to, John. That's exactly what I was gonna get into.
they'll be like, oh, well, how long will it take the universe to create a car? Well, how old is
Right.
the universe? 13.6, 13.8 billion years old. That's how long it took because we created the car for the universe. We were created by the universe.
Right. Like, so, all right. So the concept of like time, space, and light. So, fuck. I guess it's like, I guess you got to put it in a way to where it's not like too fucking confusing. So we know what happened in the last 10 minutes. What we did. So let's say, do you think like there's like a way to calculate, or if like I guess tomorrow is already known, you just have to, I don't know, in a way figure it out of what I guess what that time path is going to be, what's going to happen, and all.
You know what blows my mind? How they say we can travel into the future space. We already figured that out, even though we don't have the technology to do it. But we don't know how to reverse it.
Right.
But now they say like there are there's these microscopic creatures. They look like worms with teeth in the front, to where they can be in multiple points of time at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've seen that, and also I've seen where I think NASA and some other scientists have said that they're not portals, like I guess we would imagine like in a movie, but like pockets of I think something with magnetism, and where they're pockets that act in a way that there's, I guess it's like no time. I guess time is still.
Well, black holes are like that. Like we don't know what a black hole is. All like Einstein predicted that black holes would exist, but he couldn't tell us what they were. You know, like, and so like if you think of the multiverse theory, like black holes are just a hole that goes from one multiverse to another. So there could be a multiverse of light instead of darkness. Like they don't understand what dark matter is, but they understand that that's what's holding the galaxies together, some type of gravity. Otherwise, why would galaxies even exist? Why wouldn't we just be a giant cluster of stars?
Well, we don't even know if a galaxy exists.
Well,
like I said, we kind of taught all that
see
stuff.
the Andromeda galaxy. The Andromeda galaxy is due to run into us like 5 billion years, but like by then the sun would be gone. Like we would basically be energy sources rather than a physical being. We would evolve so far beyond that.
Just like I used to want to be a scientist when I was younger, and when I got my telescope and I looked at Venus and I looked at Mars, and they looked like angels. And that's the conversation people don't want to have, is that what if these planets that we know are solid planets or not?
Yeah, well, and then you go to exoplanets, which there's hundreds of them. And, like that's what Pluto and Charon, that's why they're not really considered planets anymore, because they're in the Kuiper belt, which is basically the same thing as the asteroid belt, but they're beyond the gas giants. So you have the rocky planets, which is like, was it Mercury to Mars? And then you have the asteroid belt, right? But then there's also, you have like parts like Sirius and other planet that we thought were planets that they're not. They're just part of the asteroid belt. But then when you go beyond Uranus and Neptune, there's a whole bunch of rocky planets, and this is where like comets swing all the way from out there and come all the way back in, and then they circle. But around there are millions, maybe billions of these rock giants. Some of them are bigger than Earth. That like they have all the makings of to make a planet, but they just weren't. They're like excess, extra parts that weren't used. And then like you go beyond that, and that's the Oort cloud, right? And then you go beyond the Oort cloud, and like we're on the tail of Orion, which is one of the spiraling parts of our galaxy, and we're more towards the outer edge of it. So when we look at the stars, we're not even seeing the full solar system. That only comes within a yearly solar cycle where we spiral, at certain
It could be
times.
more planets. It could be way more planets. Yep.
Now they predict like we might have millions of planets that can hold life within our own galaxy, and there's billions, if not trillions, of galaxies. Like life could be abundant, but it's so big. The universe is so big the galaxy is so big, you know, like we would have to discover a new technology to even reach them. So if anybody and any other alien species that was coming to us would be thousands of years ahead of us. Now, my favorite theory is like the grays that we see are drones that they're time traveling drones that we're sending back and forth from our future.
I've heard about that too.
Yeah, like that one blew my mind when I first heard that.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. It wouldn't surprise me, dude. Even like with like how we're talking about like ancient things and like ancient weapons, like even like the Covenant, like it's like basically a damn nuclear bomb if you look at it and you read the details and how it's described.
Yeah, it's like you get radiation. It's all the key points to getting radiation sickness was when you were exposed to this. You had to wear a certain outfit. You know, you had to be covered from head to toe, and then even then they would still get sick. The ones who carried it.
It'd be crazy if you had like the gray aliens and you had like the black aliens and shit.
Yo, you know who trips me out, bro? You guys remember the guy? What was the guy? He said he worked at Area 51.
Oh, you talking about what's his name? Bob Lazar. Yeah.
Listen, Bob Lazar created his own
rocket.
Yeah, well, he did that too. He used to drive his Honda. He created a rocket engine on his Honda. But Bob Lazar has a hydrogen car, right? That he made. It was a Corvette that would get 400 miles on 4 scuba tanks, in which he had to create his own hydride to line them, and that was the secret of the technology, bro. And I've seen this technology in a car, like I think BMW is making or something, to where like it's like you have to line it out with hydride because it's so light, the hydrogen, that nothing sticks to it. So it's not like you can use it with natural gas and you use sulfur, so you smell like the eggs. Like you couldn't stick anything to this, so it smells. So this thing is so he uses hydride to connect them to the bonds, but like you wouldn't need anything but a fucking humidifier to create the energy source, right?
It just recirculates.
Yeah, all it's doing is splitting the air oxygen from hydrogen and helium, in which the thing that blows me away the most is like hydrogen and helium, exactly. H2O is water, right? And you use water to put out fires, but hydrogen and helium are both flammable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have plenty of that. All you gotta do is grab them outside.
Yes, and it's free. He's like, overnight you could charge all 4 of these scuba tanks. Now the catch is hydride is you can't buy it because it's part of the nuclear weapon. So you have to either make it yourself, but to make it yourself, you need a particle accelerator. Yo, Bob Lazar built a fucking particle accelerator on his own property, bro.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Bob Lazar is the truth, dude. Like Bob Lazar was talking about.
He talked about materials that didn't exist then. That he said he worked on some element that's used in like that's used in like CDs and all kinds of tech now in phones. So
yeah, they didn't discover that element till like 2015, dude.
Yep, and I know like what was that alien metal that he said that you can fold and it gets back into its original form.
I can't remember what it was, but then he would talk about the anti-gravity to where he would only be allowed to work with one dude at a time, and to try to figure out the anti-gravity. So they would all put all these greatest scientists in teams, but they weren't allowed to communicate with each other, talk to each other. But he was like, when he went into the warehouse, he said you could tell that these things were completely different, like time periods, thousands of years apart. Some of them were new, some of them were very old.
Yep.
And, these things were found in crash sites all around the world.
So it's I know he talked about that that some were archaeological finds and some were like gifts. And so you remember, I don't know if you remember, I don't know her name, but I think she went to Harvard. It was a Chinese student that ended up I forgot what she ended up figuring out. I think it was the
warp technology,
I think it was that one, the warp, and all of a sudden she went missing.
Yep.
And also like a lot of these scientists are tied to NASA and physics and all this stuff. They just went missing. And look, the stories are like they're not even in the news anymore. You like they're just basically gone. You just found out they went missing, but never found out what happened to them.
because they were whistleblowers too. They were supposed to come
Mhm.
out with some kind of shit that
It's same guy. What's his name? That he was made out to be a evil and like went against America. What's his name that went over to Russia? He called out the what was it? The who the hell was it?
Snowden.
Snowden. Him. And he talked a lot about a lot of this stuff.
But remember, WikiLeaks leaked it first through Vault 7.
He did. The thing is, it was easier to use him, and I mean, they ended up getting the Wiki guy, but the Snowden guy, I guess you could call him a weak link, but it didn't turn out that way because China ended up getting him, and then Russia got him.
Snowden was like a low-level guy, so he was
Right.
just explaining to them like how the U.S. was using, but Vault 7 they showed it. You know what I mean? And then like you got reporters like Daphne Galizia, who was assassinated in Malta because she was uncovering the Panama Papers into where all these people were putting their money, and all this money was being led back to private military contracts that like they were funding these things like black budget operations, all this type of shit. And she had literally tweeted out before she died, like, they're gonna kill me, somebody help me. And then she was found on the side of the road, a car was exploded.
Oh no, I believe all that. It's like I've told some of the guys on here that I do a lot of military contract, which granted it's only contract work to renovate, but it's like I said, if there's money needed, they'll find it somewhere.
They made movies about that shit.
Well, you look at Jamal Khashoggi. Do you guys remember that guy, the Saudi guy that got cut up in Turkey? Jamal Khashoggi was a triple agent. They thought he was working for the Turks. He was working for America. He was a Wall Street. What's the Wall Street Journal, right? Who owns Wall Street Journal?
No idea.
Jeff Bezos. Bezos. I don't know if you guys remember this. Jeff Bezos, the Saudis hacked his phone, his private network. And that's what exposed Jamal Khashoggi. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Jamal Khashoggi's father was Jeffrey Epstein's original investor. It was a billionaire. You know what I mean? They're all related. It's all connected, dude. But it's just like, it's weird because like you look at Jeffrey Epstein, this guy was teaching mathematics or something, or economics. He had no degree in the field. And then all of a sudden he gets brought in by Bear Stearns to run their major financial part. And then he left them after like 10 years to start his own. And then he created this international blackmailing operation. Like, it's so fucking weird. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where the angles are coming from or what's it all about, but something is going on, bro. And it's being
I think it's as we move close more and more into technology and AI, and there's more and more that comes out, it'll get crazy. More shit will come out.
Yeah, because honestly, like the internet fucked it all up for them. Like, I don't know they expected people to be able to really uncover shit so fast. Like, I thought they thought they might have more control over this than they do now. But like, they have to remember they're relying on everyday people to create the next great invention. And if the wrong fucking person discovers the loophole or whatever, they're just going to leak it. And that's how shit keeps getting leaked out. Like, this guy got released from Vault 7. Like, after WikiLeaks got Vault 7, they were like, yo, Julian Assange got to go. We got to get him fuck up out of here. In which that exposed that we can use as something as simple as a Russian keyboard to make it look like the Russians hacked us. And that's what that whole fucking DNC leak comes from. It wasn't even leaked out, bro. It was downloaded from within the DNC office. And that's where Tori Maris comes in. Because Tori Maris is like, she's sitting there watching the fucking thing. She's like, no, it wasn't hacked. I fucking downloaded it. And Brendan told me to do it. Because Brennan, like, it's all about data mining operations. This is where a lot of these people are getting rich, because they're selling our private information, like not just like your fucking name and all this other shit. Like, they're learning about us at like in hive mind formations. Like, you know,
yeah, it's all AI, isn't it? It's all for AI.
This is before AI was really becoming innovative. And AI, if you really think of it, AI could be linked to those fucking computer chips that I was just showing you guys. The computer, the brain, the biochips. You know what I mean? They could have servers server farms full of these things.
Now I wanted to say, Einstein, can you, now that you've seen them chips, can you see other spiritual beings want to have
no?
bodies? They want to have
No, I
bodies.
still see genetic altering.
Hold on, let me finish. So I'm saying, you've seen the technology they have, right? Now, would it be hard to believe that they could create bodies for disembodied spirits?
A soulless
Yes.
drone. Yeah.
That's what we call
Well,
AI. That's what we're calling these cyborgs.
You guys remember the Google executive in 2016
humanoids.
said
Yeah.
that
They're
they had an
called
AI
humanoids.
that
Right.
it escaped and like they didn't want it. They said it was conscious and they
Yeah.
didn't know where it went, but it left their servers and went to servers all around the
Yeah,
world.
it figured out its own way to get out, even though they shut it down. It left itself notes. I guess you could call it notes after they deleted its memory or whatever. But it left itself little notes and little back doors, and figured out different ways to escape and get out. Which is that's insane. Yeah, that's
And
scary shit.
Google is owned by Alphabet. Alphabet is just a DARPA company.
Oh man.
Pretty soon, humanoids are going to be picking
Yeah.
all the fruit and making all the beds, so you don't need a
That's crazy. When you mention the
immigrant anymore.
yeah, exactly.
They're literally going to be walking around, and guess what? They're going to have the information. They're going to know you 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, everything about you. Too.
You think like a regular computer is going to be able to think simultaneously?
Yeah, John.
Multiple things like that? No.
Think
dude.
about,
Oh
no,
yeah,
think about it, John. The guy just said that the damn chips tell them, "Hey, you need to feed me."
Yeah.
My what came up in my brain is, what are you feeding them?
Exact proteins and all this other shit. Soylent Green. You know what I mean? Like, you got to feed it something that humans are eating, but you can't feed it, like, I don't know. Protein is the only thing I can think of.
Now,
I think
now-
having a robot. I think
Right.
having a robot would be pretty cool. I mean, I could have it out chopping wood and cutting down trees and just
You'd be
running the
do some
weed
dirty things to
eater
that damn
and
robot.
everything.
Go and do a store run.
you gonna have that robot do
Yeah,
some
go
dirty
to the
things,
store,
man.
robot. Go get me a 6-pack of beer, robot.
I had a motherfucker run to this town and shit and then come back for it. Which wouldn't be bad unless like we really got an understanding of what we're dealing with, you know.
And we don't, John. That's the thing. Everything is good in the beginning, and then bam. It's the thing is we're human, and we're God's. You know, I guess if you don't believe in God, but we're born sinners. We're gonna end up fucking
Right.
shit up.
Juan, we all watched iRobot.
Right.
Created creatures.
I
We
mean,
try to
that's
recreate in our own image. We're not God.
right.
They had the 3 laws, you know, and that was written
Thank
in
you,
like
Tom.
the turn of like the
Mhm.
19th or 18th century.
For some weird reason, 3, 7, 6, 13. These numbers, man. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
You know what robot means? Because it's a Russian word. It
Mhm.
means mechanical slave.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask y'all a question. If any of y'all have ever had a paranormal expansion or experience, yeah, because Einstein said that he didn't believe in angels because I had one.
I think in some ways
Actually, I
one
had
we've
a
all had one.
couple.
I've never seen it, but it's just because I haven't seen it. It's not like I don't believe it. I just like I had one time where I thought we were working in this mansion, right? And I thought like I kept seeing a ghost.
Right. You felt
And it
something.
comes to find out, it was like my reflection bouncing off different windows from one side of the house to the other. But like it would only happen like when cars were driving by.
You
But I
were
caught it.
scared, so you like started manifesting things.
It freaked me out, but like
That's
my
that
mind
fear.
wouldn't let me believe it. So like I had to figure
Right.
out what the fuck it was.
You
And then
was sober, right? You wasn't
I was
smoking or drinking or nothing.
Yeah, I was working, and it was in the middle of the day. But it would only happen like every once in a while, and I would always catch it out my peripheral, and then I would look and I would see it for a second, and then it would go away. But it was like the reflection of the light through the cars and how I was standing. It was weird, but like I found a way how to mimic it. You know what I mean? To where it was like, okay, that's not a fucking ghost. But I could have swore for the first 2 days I thought it was a ghost, bro. But I kept seeing it at the same time around the same, like doing it the same way. And I was like, no, there's a pattern here. Something's wrong.
No,
But
I mean,
like, it was like at least 100 feet away from me. In that
the only things that I've experienced I could tell you is, I guess, so where I'm originally from in Mexico, we're from a big desert area. It's a big farm town, and if you go out to the farm, you basically have to stay on the land or make a fire. Think of like a cowboys out in the desert, the old days.
Yeah.
That's basically where I'm from. So I don't know where Bear's from, but if you're out from a desert area and it's pitch black, I'm not saying you like that I've seen anything, but you see shit, you kind of like just kind of laugh it off or look, just kind of shrug it off.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, you see shits that move, like I guess in the air, you think something is there, but when you turn around, it's like not there. Then, and like it's like John was saying, like on the side of my eyes, I'm thinking I'm seeing some bullshit, but then you look and it's almost like you almost feel like something is looking back at you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I thought,
and that's that sense.
I had the goosebumps for like every time I would work in there. After that, I was just like, man, something's fucking wrong here. And then like once I figured what it was, like I still had this feeling behind my head because it was an old house, it was an old mansion,
right?
But it was just like I understood what that was, but like it's not to say like it could be something, there's other things around there, but like for me, what I saw, like I explained it,
So
but like if you're in the fucking desert, who knows?
Do you guys have dogs?
Yeah, I got 2.
So we had this old house. It was abandoned. We usually go back to Mexico every now and then. We clean it out. And we had this bad thunderstorm one day, and it was just me and my dog, and we were like miles out. We were out in the middle of nowhere, but I'm in one of the rooms, and my dog doesn't bark. And at the time she's a canine mixed with the German Shepherd and pit bull. All I see is the back of her head like a mohawk. Just it goes up, and that's usually when animals telling you that something they feel something.
Yeah.
And all she's doing is barking down the fucking hallway where it's all fucking black, and I'm like, what the fuck? So you can't show fear because then the dog feels it. So my stupid ass tries to walk down the hallway, and she quits walking. Bear, she just stops right there, turns around, looks at me. I roll out. I get the hell out. I mean, I never found out what happened, but I was out. I was out.
Yeah.
So that was it. I mean, I listened to the dog because you also like it goes to that feeling where I felt like something was there and was looking, and so it was like
you listened to your gut and got the hell out of there.
I have my
do that too. Yeah.
I have my rosaries. I counted my blessing and I left.
Like every night around 3 o'clock, I had a female dog. She was the best dog I ever had. And there was a story behind the house because this house was like 100-something years old. It was a little bungalow, and like the lady who lived there originally, she passed. Her mom died there, and I think the father was abusive. But like every night around 3 o'clock, dude, my dog would like sit at the door and look out the door like it was seeing something, but it wouldn't be aggressive towards it or anything, but it would always do the same thing in the middle of the night.
Looking, yeah. Yep. It's like with kids. You ever seen kids like baby toddlers before they speak? They look like they're looking at something.
Yeah.
Like you if you have kids, they look like they're looking or playing or trying to touch something. But I mean, yeah, I believe all that.
Yeah, there's something about energy, dude. It's something with the energy.
Well, I mean, what's the saying? I guess when a human passes away, it weighs so much less, and the rooms do get a little colder.
Yep.
I mean, we're full of energy, so that energy's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, well, they say like the human body has like a few volts, like 1.5
Oh
volts or
yeah.
something like that. And then like after it leaves, like where does that energy go? Energy has to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was having a really bad day in my cabin, and I was in what's this Life Forward by Creed kind of a mood, and like wondering like what am I really doing here? Like the door just thrust open,
Yeah.
and
I've heard about those.
something just
That was just
came
the
in
wind.
and hang around, and
That was just
suddenly
the
I
wind.
felt a lot better, and my depression was gone
Well, that
and
was
stuff
good.
like that. So
Maybe
that's
you got
why I
spirit.
believe in angels. I believe
Maybe
in angels come down from heaven to lift you out of your spirits when you're down.
Very bad.
Angels aren't real. That was a ghost.
Ghosts are real. Just, so yeah, you have it, twice, man. Angels ain't real. It was a ghost.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying about the ancient Iranians talking about people or like something raining down from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of believe in that. Like
Well, I
it
mean,
happened.
it even showed like when they talk
Spirit,
about chariots and fire, lightning, and
spirit,
in the sky. So yeah,
spirits walk among us. I mean,
Yep. Disembodied spirits. Yep.
yeah. One place I don't mess with though is I know Bear likes going and hunting and shit. I don't go in the forest or the woods like deep in there alone, especially alone.
That's
I
where
don't
you
mess with that
safe.
shit.
That's where you safe one. So, and this is something that the natives teach you. So you know how they tell us like, oh, if you go in the woods or the desert, you're in danger. That's where the danger is. Oh man, think about it. Where did Jesus go in his mission? He went out in the wilderness 40 days.
He ain't going out in no woods, no forest,
What do you think the wilderness is? It's a
out in the middle
desert.
of the open. He was out in the desert. I do the desert. I won't do the forest.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you only scared of it because they did the Blair Witch to us when we were young.
He ain't lying. You know those
We
those
all,
movies. Yeah.
we all watched the Blair Witch. That shit made us scared of the woods. And then the desert made us scared because they told us that if you go to the desert, then you're gonna die because
You make the wrong turn.
yeah, yeah, and the hills have eyes and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yo, the
But
Hills Have Eyes movie was crazy.
but that's what I'm saying is that when you out there, man, it's peaceful. It's peaceful.
yeah.
It's peaceful.
I remember one time when I was in the Yellowstone Park because I hiked through Yellowstone one
I want to
time.
go to
You went to Yellow?
Yellowstone too. I
And,
want to go to
Crazy Swift, man.
Yellowstone.
You went to
yeah, I hiked through Yellowstone and I camped out this one place in the park, and uh, I woke up the next morning, rolled up the sleeping bag, and there's these bicyclists. They were bicycling through Yellowstone,
you
and
can't do that. It's illegal, right?
they said they seen a great big grizzly bear walk right by like where I was sleeping the night before.
You
That
you
was
didn't have your
pretty
food
cool.
out. You had your food away,
Uh,
right?
I didn't have any food. I already ate it the night before.
Damn, you lucky. Guess that grizzly bear wasn't hungry, you know.
That
Yo, unless that grizzly bear likes to drink.
was a long time ago.
No, I've only had a black bear encounter, and that's about it. And that was because the owner of the house always fed that damn bear. He called him Charlie. And I told him, yo, like I ran in his house, and he was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "There's a black bear outside." He looks outside, And he's like, "Oh, that's just Charlie. He fed this man steaks and all kinds of shit, man."
Well, I had one time out here, I woke up one morning and I was just going outside to piss, right? And I had a 450-pound black bear on the deck, on my covered deck. And I woke up and then I was like, oh, shit. And then I kicked him. I had my boots on, right? So I just kicked him in his ass and he ran away. I didn't have to shoot him or nothing. Those black bears are easy to scare away. They don't like it if you fight them.
They don't like liberals either.
No.
Who's eating? I'm about to get hungry too.
I got the salt and Vinny's.
Oh, have y'all noticed they make chips baked now? They don't do them fried no more. Because I get like the kids, their Cheetos and Doritos and stuff, and they come in the like where it's baked instead of like, I guess, I don't know the old way how they did it. I guess they fried them.
They had a sale, crazy sale. It was like 4 bags of Doritos for $8 by me.
Oh, it's that 4th of July sale. That's good. I bought a bunch of meats today too.
Yeah, I always get like the ShopRite store brand. They're like $2 a bag, man. They're fucking banging.
I'm smoking some ribs and steaks and then baked potatoes too on the grill. What I do with smoked baked potatoes is rub them down with beef tallow first and then put them on the grill and smoke them like that. Man, they come out good.
That sounds
good. Go get the kids some fireworks tomorrow, shoot them off, cook.
Yeah, we can't have fireworks up here, unfortunately, because fire danger,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We ain't supposed to have them here either, but everybody goes to South Carolina and gets them anyway. So it's like the cops really can't do nothing about it.
I remember those days.
Man, it's fun. The kids love it. And so it's like, it's good.
I don't do it because I don't want to start a forest fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the temperature up there? 12 today and yesterday?
I think it got up to 53 degrees.
Oh,
yeah.
58, I think.
It was 105 today by me.
Damn.
Yeah, man, that's hot for us.
That's too hot.
We had the same thing.
I'd have to have an air conditioner and that shit.
It was 112. It was 112 in AZ.
Right.
Did y'all see that communist Mayor Mondami was blaming people using their air conditioners? It's like, turn down your air conditioner because it might make the grid go out.
There's a 78 degrees or some shit like that.
Such a stupid ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
How can we let a Muslim be a part of New York?
They voted for it. They voted for it to him, man. I don't feel bad for him. They voted for it, man.
Oh yeah, they asked for it.
Majority of the people voted. That's what happens.
Yeah, dude, I'm in Jersey. Like, we got Mikey Sherrill. I'm like, yo, people gonna have to deal with this bitch now.
Yep. And and the crazy part is they probably didn't know none of her policies. Just the simple fact that she's a woman, they voted for.
Yep. Nah, dude, she was telling everybody she was gonna raise taxes.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying, John, that with women, they didn't hear that shit. They just seen the representation of a woman and said, I'm voting for her because she's a woman. Period.
Yeah, we had she's the first female governor since Christy Todd Whitman in Jersey. That's like 20-something years.
That's fucking crazy, man. Hell,
think about Kamala Harris.
Went up. Oh, Kamala Harris.
Think about Kamala Harris, man. What did women kept saying? Even though her drunk, dumb, motherfucking ass was on stage, stumbling and mumbling and shit. And what did women say? Women was like,
First woman
I
president.
can't wait. I can't wait till a woman becomes president.
Yeah, and then they didn't even want her to run for governor of California.
Right, John. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all didn't even vote for her in Cali, and y'all wanted to run the United States. You crazy.
So Kamala's that type of that college party girl that didn't quit partying and she just continued that shit.
One, I really think she's a drunk auntie with no kids.
Yep.
And with a bunch of money.
Yeah, she was in college.
Did y'all hear that 28 communists won their primaries for Congress in this country?
Yeah.
And Trump thinks it's a national security threat. What do y'all think?
Yeah, the media is doing an awesome job by tricking the American people into thinking Trump and Republicans are the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like they keep going backwards to communism. It's like that shit don't work. You know, like it hasn't worked anywhere that they tried to fucking get it to go. Like we need some kind of new system. Like I liked when Trump was talking about a meritocracy, a merit-based system.
Mm-hmm.
We would never be able to have that either, dude.
Yeah, and they call themselves democratic socialists, but there's nothing democratic about socialism or communism. And we're a constitutional republic. Besides, there's nothing about democracy or democratic in any of our founding documents.
Remember
These
this.
people are
They keep
stupid.
calling the right. They call the right Nazis, right? Okay. Now there's a bunch of socialists that hate Jews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're calling the right.
Yeah, they're pro Hamas, and they want to abandon Israel and everything.
Like Nazis were literally, it was National Socialists. That was where.
Yeah, they're the not. Yeah. That's the literal definition of Nazi.
Yeah.
So that's who we're facing. And then
they went after the Jews,
that
dude.
Graham Plattner has a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest. He had it covered up, but it's still there.
Yeah.
So he's a Nazi.
World for him. They're like, oh, that's not. He didn't know. He didn't do this. Trump don't got no fucking swastika on him. He ain't got no Nazi regalia. None of that shit.
They're lying, John.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, John? I remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, rappers making songs, Trump in the videos. Everybody saying they want to be rich as Trump. They want to do what Trump doing.
Yeah.
And
What's his
man,
name,
ain't it crazy that the media, as soon as he said, "Oh, the Democrats, y'all don't want to rock with me," okay, I'm gonna run as a Republican.
Yeah. I'm the richest
And
in
the-
my hood. Call me Donald Trump. That was Jeezy.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
then
guys-
they flipped. The media flipped it and said, "This man is the mustache man."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
can you imagine that?
it was because of Obama, because he was like, he didn't believe Obama was really born. But then there's like a whole different conspiracy behind Obama after that. It was just like
He wasn't
father,
even American.
well, his father is Frank
Mom
Marshall
was-
Davis, not
Mom
this
was
Kenyan dude.
Jewish. Dad was from another country.
Yeah, her
Man,
mom
the
was
dude-
his mom was a spy, bro. His mom was a spy.
Not even
Leanne Dunham.
American.
Yeah. She was a spy. She was in Iran when Iran got overthrown with another politician's son. She married a diplomat. Like, it's all this crazy ass shit that she's been connected to. The parents were involved with the CIA, or her parents. So his grandparents who raised him, they were involved in the CIA.
Well,
You
you
know-
remember when
he didn't have a grandfather. It was just his grandmother and his mama that raised him.
But he used to spend summers at his grandfather's
tell-
friend's house, Frank Marshall Davis. If you,
You
look
can
at
tell
Frank
his
Marshall Davis,
mannerisms,
they look
man.
just alike.
No, but you could tell by
Well, yeah.
Obama's mannerisms, how he crosses his legs, how he stands, how he folds his arms. Like you could tell, man, Obama was sweet. And I don't know why. I don't know why people didn't see it, man. Dude was sweet. Man.
You don't even talk to
back in the 60s and 70s, the CIA and the FBI went after actual communists. Now they're getting elected to office. This is
Yeah.
fucked up, man.
Yeah, McCarthy was right.
Okay.
They called him crazy, dude, but he was right. That's the entire progressive movement. It was all they literally, there was a memo in the 1920s. They're like, we're not going to win through the term socialism, so we're just going to change our name to progressives.
Yeah, right. And damn, if you look on the progressive, all they are is a damn liberal.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hillary
it.
Clinton, all of them, they all identify as progressive.
But see, what we be talking about right now, we talking about terrorist speech. In 2026, we're gonna have some of the most major elections across the
How
land.
you doing, Snake? How you doing,
Yeah,
Snake?
what's up, everybody, man? Salute, Black
Hey,
man.
what's up, babe? What's up, Snake? The Saudis let you out today?
Good evening.
Huh?
The Saudis let you come on board today?
Man.
We were wondering where you were at, man. We missed you.
Them Arabs let you come up, Snake. What's up?
Bandar Bush.
Oh, no, man, I ain't got no to do with nothing, man. I'm an American first, man. Fuck that. I'm an American first. That's how I identify myself. See, I had this theory. I watched that movie fully the other night, man, and I really, really watched that movie. And I
Which
thought about
one?
Civil War. And I'm
Hold
thinking
on.
about
Which movie?
Civil War, the one that came out in 2024.
Okay.
And it's like, I think that dude was trying to watch it, bro. The 2026 midterms, man. When you look at what the Supreme Court just went and did, man, I don't know, man. There was a lot of shit going on right there with that elect. I mean, come on, bro. You just really just said, all right, so now Trump gonna have to go to phase 2, you know? And I mean, like, why you want him to go to phase 2? Phase 2 gonna eviscerate y'all, and that shit gonna start a civil war. I'm telling you.
Well,
That's
now they're
what they
talking about
want.
packing the courts.
That's what they want, man.
Yeah.
Man, they gonna have to get them women up out of there, man. They gonna have to get them women up out of there, man.
They
We can't
want
do
to
it.
filibuster in Puerto Rico and Washington D.C. and make it a permanent Democrat representative, basically.
No, man, because if you allow that, like, listen to it, man. You gotta look at what's going on. Like my boy said earlier, what's going on in Guam?
Yeah, I was gonna say Guam, America, Samoa.
Yeah, man, you gotta look at the Hawaiian Islands. Pay attention, man. Pay attention. It's all about territory. It's all
Hawaii
about
is
territory.
already a part of the United States.
Yeah, but
Location.
12. Always ask yourself, why is Hawaii part of America and not Puerto Rico, Guam, America, Samoa, even the Philippines? We won all of that from the same war. Hawaii, Guam, Philippines, that's the Spanish-American War. We beat the Spanish and took all of their land.
You know why? Because ain't no black dudes there. That's why. You ain't got no black men there. See, they suppress the black man. See, and that's what they want to do. You want to control the black man. You don't need to control the black man. Let the black man do what he do. You know what I'm saying? You see Bumpy Johnson. You watch them TV shows, man. Look, where the mafia at now in New York? Where the Italians at? Why you got them Arabs and them Jews running over them neighborhoods like that? Where the mafia hits at, man? I've been hearing all kind of murder hits going on up in that motherfucker after they found them tunnels. I ain't seen shit. Now they got a motherfucking Arab motherfucking mayor. Where the fucking motherfucking mafia at New York?
Oh.
My bad.
The big one.
Goddamn America, what in the fuck are we doing? Let me shut up for the. I got goddamn search cameras outside my house.
How's your cat? How's your cat? Solid Snake.
Man, fuck you, 12, man. My dog is doing fine. I wish I had.
Oh, you got a dog now? I thought you had a cat.
Do you see my avatar This is the only one I got left. I don't even share Snitch. Cause I had the one with the two, but I keep the two, you know what I'm saying? I keep it saved in my phone. But after I watched Civil War in that movie and I paid attention to a certain scene when a woman lost one of her best journalist friends and he died saving them, you know, she deleted his picture, you know, and it's like, damn, that was a deep ass moment in that movie. I
Now,
really
was
wish
that the,
everybody just go back and rewatch that movie, man. Just go back and rewatch it.
Was that
It's
the
a good
part where
movie.
he was like, "Are you American?" They're like, "Yeah, we're American." He was like, "Well, what kind of American are you?"
Right.
Yeah, man, that's a deep question. That's a very, very, and that motherfucker
Hey,
said,
hey, John, you picked that up too, John. You picked that up too in that
Yo,
movie. I
I've
was
only
like,
seen it in a
damn.
clip, Black Bear. I
Dude,
only seen
what
it
do
in a
you
clip,
think?
but I
What do you
remember that
think the
shit.
whole Civil War was about? What do you think the whole Civil War was about?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they were low key throwing jabs at Trump throughout the whole movie,
Oh, I'm sure of it.
and
No, but you got to research
I know,
old.
I know, but
I'm
then,
telling you, it's a painful history. That's a lot of great black families, a lot of great black communities was lost within that tribal war of
No,
America.
but hold on, Snake. I really believe because before I watch movies, I pray, and I really believe Civil War was an MK Ultra movie.
I don't believe so. I don't
Oh
believe.
my God, Snake! Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
It was like pre-programming.
I really
Okay.
believe it was an MK Ultra movie where it was pretty much trying to tell the watcher how to react when this happened.
Do you guys you ever seen that movie with Dave Bautista where he was in Brooklyn and it became like a civil war? It was like a civil war where it was like these white supremacists.
Matter of fact, I want to watch that one too.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a
Yeah, but that was like over there in Bed-Stuy and all that shit.
yeah. And it was all like there was this paramilitary that invaded New York and they were invading all the major cities and they were trying to overthrow the country and like some white supremacist shit. And like it was this one politician that they were all following.
John, are you talking about the one where it was like the two gay guys or something like that?
You know who Dave Bautista is, the wrestler? He's on
It was like
Guardians of the Galaxy.
cabin.
See,
No, hold on, Snake. No, because I didn't watch it because they said that it was about like something happened where a war broke out, but Dave Bautista and them like took the cabin from two gay guys or something like that.
He was like a retired military veteran, didn't trust anybody, and he just like he went on a tear, was whipping people's asses, trying to save like he was saving this one girl, and it was like, you know, it was, all the bad guys were white, and everybody that was fighting against them was the good guys. It was like this pre-programming to hate white guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I want you to go watch Black Bear. Hey, go check out that movie Eagle One. Just go check that movie out. Just watch it. Just watch it.
You say Evil One?
Go fishing. Go fishing. After you watch that movie, I want you to go and get your boat. And I want you to get out there on that dang on bayou. And
Evil One? Wait, Snake, you said Evil One?
Eagle
One. Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the trailer. Hold on, let me look at the trailer.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Oh, it's called Bushwick. That's the movie from Bautista. It was 2017 called Bushwick.
Oh yeah, Bushwick. Man, you know, I can't believe I got that wrong, because one thing I liked about that movie, it showed me like one of my favorite rappers was Black Moon. Black Moon was from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Shit,
Yeah,
that was like, I was watching their history, watching that movie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything come out of New York. I'm a New York.
You didn't know until he caught that one soldier what it was all about, you know, because like they were all wearing like full body armor to where you didn't even see the skin color. And then it was like, oh, it was all about like a race war thing.
Yeah, man. It was a race war thing. I'm thinking that's what's going to eventually wind. I think that's what the media propaganda pushing for, man. I'm sorry.
The true Americans, we're not gonna allow that to happen.
Yeah, no, it'll never go down that way.
We don't allow it to go. I mean, come on, dude. I was looking at that. I don't know why YouTube showed me this little short, but it was when Amy Coney Barrett was going up against the dude Thune, and I was like, why we allow that? Wait a minute, she a ginger. You don't trust gingers.
If there's a civil war, it's going to be commies against Americans, like all these. We might have. I don't think we'll allow that to happen, though. There's not going to be a race war.
No, we're not going to allow that to happen. Because you know why?
Because the information, I mean, we already see the play, so the play ain't going to work. So they're going to try something different. Now, what's different, we don't know yet, but we got to stay on our toes, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, you just don't feed into dumb shit. Like when you like people feeding into just garbage, man. Like I was saying on CT and Bob. Hold on, Snake. Snake, let me finish my thought, Nick.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I was saying on CT and Bob's, man, I just don't allow my heart to feed into this race shit, man. Because I'm not my personality, my being. I'm not a skin first person.
Yeah.
Because I know this shit is. Hold on. Oh my God, Snake. I know this shit is not real. My spirit being is the real me. So that's why I'm saying, John, that I don't believe most of the people in America are skin based people. I do really think most of us are spiritual, if that makes sense.
You know, it's a mindset. It's like that's what I say. Like America is a mindset. It's not a race.
Right.
You know, like you love this country. It no matter what happened to your family in the past, it's like you realize like how lucky we are to be here. You know what I mean? And how valuable it is. And if we don't pay attention, this is the difference between us and every other part of the world. Like we can easily lose this shit if we're not active, because that's why we're a representative, a republic. Like you either got to pay attention or we're going to end up like the rest of the world, because that's the difference between us and everybody else.
Hold on, John. I love your enthusiasm.
Who's John?
John, I love your enthusiasm. I love your positive perspective. But there is a Muslim mayor over New York.
Yeah.
Those people have to suffer the Muslim prayer at 5 o'clock in the morning.
They did it. They voted for it. Man, I don't feel bad for them.
Wait a minute. This is the day and age of modern technology. Now, back in the day, see, I grew up on a group called Onyx. See, we grew up on the bald head theory. Back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just
what do you want, a brownie button or what, Snake? What the fuck?
Some strange reason, the pretty boys took over. I smite that guy that allowed them to use them in the streets. But man, we should have kept our pride from the 95, man. See, because this is how we're gonna cheer from 93 till, but goddamn, we went from that to this, and now we on the booty shorts and the gay shit, and the goddamn women are queens and men are queens with the K.
Now, it's always been there, Snake. It's always been there. It's just the internet.
No, it hasn't.
It's always been there.
Remember, Onyx came out of the black skinhead movement, which wasn't racist. It was sharp skinheads. It was skinheads against racial profiling, sharp, right? They came from the punk rock era. They used to get down with the punk rock kids. And then that's when the neo-Nazis popped out, and they took that skinhead look. but like, and they wore the boots. Like that's not even like
If
Onyx was part of a
you
different
believe
movement.
it,
They just started
explain
making
House
rap.
of Pain. Hold on, explain House of Pain then.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, if you believe that theory that they took the bald head culture from Onyx, see now I know you're
No.
playing with
Onyx was part of before it was Onyx. Like the black skinheads were part of the punk rock scene. And they used to always beef with not the neo-Nazis because they used to wear the skinheads too, and that's where the term skinheads got a bad connotation. But like you can watch, there was old not sitcoms, like TV
yeah,
shows.
that was later on, man. That was later on.
This was 81. Like Onyx came out in the 90s. They came from that way early.
John.
Huh?
That probably wasn't even the same culture by that time.
It was. That's why they wore the boots like that. That's why it was part of punk rock culture.
Yeah. Why would you say punk rock?
That's what it came out of.
Why would you not say hardcore rock?
No, it was punk rock.
Am I sleeping?
Oh, so you saying because they black, they got to be punk rock?
No. That's why their style was so different from other rap styles.
No,
They were
motherfuckers wanted to fuck with them.
They were talking about punk rock music.
I'm just asking questions. Now, John, you got your version of the history. I'm just saying, why the nigga got to be the punk or the motherfucking version of your history? Why the fuck we couldn't be hard rock? Black version of hard rock. Our shit. Hold on, man. You gonna make me go.
Calm down, Snake.
Snake, you don't know what punk rock is?
Man, you gonna go make me shave my head, John.
No, but Snake.
Don't shave your head. Don't shave
You're already bald.
Punk rock was rebellious music. It wasn't. It was hardcore music, but it wasn't. That was just the terminology for it. Is punk rock. Like that's a whole genre of music, dude.
Well, that was probably what it was marketed on.
They were labeled that, and they embraced the label.
That was the music industry wanted to call it at one point in time. You know what I'm saying?
It was no. Punk rock was rebellious music. They were not fitting in with any other genre of music, and that's why you hear Onyx when they're screaming on the fucking mic. They didn't sound like anybody else.
Just like EPMD did. Everybody want to call it hip hop, but shit, EPMD was their own shit. A lot of people didn't sound like EPMD. They had their own little style. You couldn't call it hip hop, but we called it hip hop. And that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is organized noise. That's all hip hop is.
Well, it's like a mixture of genres because like all the original the samples were all jazz music, soul music, disco music. All the samples come from different music that they made their own.
I can't stand not being able to see the chat, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta see the chat. I need to see who all in the house, man. Salute, KC.
Who just lost the Cash App attack? Ring that bell, make it boom. Money just walked in the room. Welcome to the.
Okay.
I want to thank Casey for the $15 Cash App. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. We are running live and still. Y'all can continue. I'm sitting here listening.
Yeah, I gotta get to sleep because I gotta be up in like 5 hours. But if y'all still on later, I'll come back on because I ain't gonna be working all day.
All right, brother. You be safe.
All right, John. Hey, John. Good
Take care, brother. Nice talking with you.
Always, y'all the best group, man. I'll holler at y'all next time.
See you later.
All right, John. Salute.
Salute. So what's up, gentlemen? That was a
the fact that John left the panel, man. John be having some nice ass theories, though. You feel me? That dude really do get deep, man. One day we just let that nigga roll for like a whole 2 hours.
Hey, pause, man.
What?
Pause, man. You can't say that dude be getting really deep. Pause, man.
Come on, man.
No, you gotta be
Tell him,
careful what
Solid.
you say, man.
Tell him, Solid. Tell him to grow up. Tell him to grow up, Solid.
Y'all, you guys gotta be careful, man.
Man, I don't like no hunter nigga acting like no lobby nigga.
Hold on.
Come on,
Snake,
man.
why
Be
you
yourself.
Snake, why you gotta say the N-word all the time, Snake?
Right.
What's
Right.
wrong with you?
Right.
I mean, because it's like the redneck word to y'all. Jesus Christ. Why you in black people business?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
If you call me a cracker, I'd black your eye. I'd give you a black eye if you called me a cracker.
I eat pickle pig feet and shit. He don't eat that because he from Arizona and that pork mess with his high blood pressure. And then it's high over there in Arizona. You can't play with stuff like that, man. You can't play with the salt game like that over there in Arizona, man. It's dry heat. Hey, man, that mess with black people, man. Salute to you, black belt, man. For real. You out there in that desert. I don't know how you do it. I love the swamp.
Oh man, I love heat, man. I love the heat. I love the desert.
I want to see what's gonna happen with I want to see what's gonna happen with Skywalker and them alligators he got in his backyard. I can't wait. Oh Lord, I want to adopt one, but I know I can't have. Hold on, Brenda knocking. Brenda mad. Hold on, I'll be back. I'm a mute.
Got a hooker.
Y'all holler. Yeah.
Snake got a hooker at the door.
Oh, damn.
$40 holla. He's getting a discount. It's 4th of July weekend, 250-year anniversary. So he's getting a $2.50 off discount.
Y'all gonna have some fireworks in Florida, Mexican?
Well, if it doesn't rain, we're gonna go see the fireworks down at the pier.
Oh. Yeah, we can't have them.
He gotta leave
We
that
can't
pickle
ha-
alone, man. He gotta leave that pickle juice shit alone.
we can't have them up here because of forest fire dangers, so we just shoot guns instead.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Please tell me you're shooting at the ground.
I have a special tree that I shoot at.
Okay, good. At least you're not shooting in the air.
Whatever you do, don't shoot guns in the air, man. Those bullets gotta come down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they only go so far and so fast, and then they drop. It's like, phew. Anyways, oh man,
Yeah, man, my bad. Salute.
Hope y'all are having a wonderful 4th of July weekend coming up.
Who? Are you letting off any fireworks too, man?
I can't let off no fireworks. I stay across the street from a gas station.
The Arab station.
Oh,
You know, hey man, come on, 12 man. See, you live in Alaska, dog. See, now if you was in Louisiana, I'd take that a little different. But you my homie, man. You own your own property up there in Alaska.
It's all good, solid.
Good. You know, and you make me anti-government benefits. See, because you ain't got to rub it in my face, dog. Shit.
Well, you have a job to do.
Why you think I ain't fixed that damn thing in here? What I look like increasing the property value? while I'm living here. I don't know why y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy. Hell no, I just got a roof over my head. Shit. I ain't gonna ask nobody for
Yeah.
nothing. Shit.
Thank God for that.
My boy said I got a roof over my head. Shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got Bluetooth speakers I can repair and sell.
You doing
All I
what?
need is a heat gun. Yeah, man, I got a shitload of motherfucking Bluetooth speakers around here. I can sell them.
That's one thing I miss about the South is the pickled pig feet.
That's like
You
art.
don't get those up here in Alaska.
Yeah, see what I want to do to it, man. The next thing I'm finna buy, I already got my little saw. I'm gonna sell it to my uncle, but I want to use that right now because I'm doing something different. But I got a plan. You know, it's gonna work out. Just trust me. You know, I just got to be on my own for a minute. I can't be working under people. I don't know why. Just too many personalities just bother my conscience. I just can't do it.
They done broke.
Good luck.
Solid Snake's heart. Oh man.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
knows
broke,
that's
man. I'm
Solid
broke.
Snake? Do
You
we have
hear
to
my
go
beat,
Thursday
man?
with Snake again early in the morning on Friday?
What?
I said, are you okay, Snake? Did somebody break your heart?
Nah, I'm just going through a transitional period. I don't know why y'all so emotional. I'm just going through a transitional period.
Oh, you going through male menopause or something?
Nah, shit, I went through that like damn near 5 years ago. Shit.
Snake, what happened to your cat?
What cat?
The coochie.
The one that was living in your closet.
In my closet? Ah, 12 man. God damn it, you drunk some bitch. My bad, Mexican. My bad. My bad, Bob. My bad. That's 12 man. Bob, hey, 12 man, come on, man. 12 man, come on, man.
You got a new dog now, right?
We can't be over here with all that right there, man. We can't be over here, man. They monetize. They trying to get monetized to it, man. We can't be doing all that. We do that on Stanley Channel. When we go on Stanley Channel, that's how we harass Stanley. That's Stanley. That's
Snake,
you know.
Snake, you got a dog now or what?
Yeah, man. But see, the way you talking, man, it's almost like you don't even remember my
Where's your
old
dog at?
man. I don't like
Show
that
it.
stuff, man.
Show us your dog, Snake. Come on, man.
No, Twit, man. I ain't gonna show you my dog, Twit, man.
Why not?
Why?
Is it a puppy?
Hell no, he grown now. Shit, he trying to get out the gate. He bought him a little old female over here last night, Twit, man. Twit, man. He bought an old female over here, a whole little white colored dog, all white, little Russian pit bull. Look like she had something. You know, but I say, oh, she just over here to eat your little vittles. You know, I'm like, nigga, we already. Come on, bro. I ain't got nobody.
You got a fenced-in yard? Is that right?
Yeah, it got holes in it though. You know.
You better
Oh,
fix
yeah, I
them.
ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't even know they had a fence pole pusher like thing like a jackhammer. Man, that motherfucker ain't but like, man, I'm sorry. I should have bought me one. I should have been bought me one. Should have been bought me one. I could just lay fences for a living. Fuck. Cause don't nothing make great neighbors better than fences.
So, all you have to do is wake up and go across the street to work at the gas station.
Yeah. Can you speed it up a little bit though, 12 man? Come on, man. We on come on, man. We on the gospel of Bob.
That's all you gotta do is walk across the street and go to work. That's a good deal.
You know what, 12 man? You act like you talking to somebody behind my back. But I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think this is, but it's not what you think this is. Okay, 12 man. I don't have white privilege.
Oh, now we gotta make it about race. Okay.
No, we got to make it about choice. The blacks choose to do business with the Arabs. The blacks,
the Arabs know they can rip the blacks off in the stores.
the blacks choose to do business with the Asians. The blacks, it's like a theory they had that was actually proven true. It's almost like fleas in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? If I put fleas in a bottle, a flea can jump all over the motherfucker. A free flea is a motherfucker. But a motherfucking lab trained flea will never go outside that motherfucking bottle height for the rest of his life, nor will none of his offspring. You see what I'm saying? Slavery. Yeah, okay. But see, when AI takes over, AI ain't gonna be as conscious as we are. AI is gonna be strategic. See, when you think about it, yeah, I do believe AI invented time travel. AI, I'm gonna tell you, like I say, when I seen the Willy Wonka movie again, I thought about the only thing that went through my mind when I seen the marshmallow pie was, what the fuck was Kazam? Wait a minute, you telling me Kazam never existed, but I'm watching Willy Wonka and this motherfucker passing a marshmallow pie? I want to remember the fucking marshmallow pie. But, you know, never mind.
Go take a nap, Snake. You're drunk.
Yeah, I know. I'm drunk as fuck, 12 man.
And it's still early
Shit.
too.
I want an empty stomach too. I ain't ate shit. I ain't got no money.
You can't be doing that, Solid.
I ain't got no money. I can't do that. I'm a grown man now. Come on now.
You wasted all your
old ass man. That's what you are. You can't.
you wasted all your money on hookers.
Ah, come on, 12 man.
You need to find discounts on some $5 haulers instead of them $40 haulers. There you go.
See, that's how you get some. Listen. See, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man. Y'all be trying to act like y'all want to be good Christian young boys, but I know one thing about the Christian. Accountability. Hey, man, we already living in our sin. One thing we suffering from is accountability. We don't hold others to their accountability. That's why we got in the situation we in now. And now they say anybody that come over here to this country is an American citizen, because you know why? The people that needed to protect that right, the way the law was written, didn't do it. You allowed a larger population of billions of children, billions of bastard children to come and labor.
It's going to be challenged again. Republicans
I don't think y'all really
are
understand.
already about.
Yeah,
Hold on, be quiet, Snake.
Okay, go ahead.
We're already about to put in legislation that would limit birthright citizenship. So it will come to the Supreme Court again. I mean,
yeah, you know
just like gun rights, gun rights and abortion
Man,
have
you a
been to
drunk
the
motherfucker. I
Supreme
don't want to hear
Court
about you and guns.
over and over
Man, you
again.
don't need a gun.
Birthright
Okay? You better need to
citizenship
go in.
is going to come to the table
Hold on,
again.
man. Time out, man. You intoxicated. See, you are a very, very, very bad person.
You're
See,
intoxicated.
you don't never hear me talk about. See, what I'm about, 12 man, is de-escalation.
Whatever.
I am. I'm pretty much about de-escalation. I'm not about.
Have a great night, Mexican.
Okay, 12 man. Hey, 12 man. I don't been hunting before. And you don't want to run up on a guy that's going through problems and full of liquor with a shotgun in his hand while you out there just doing your casual hunt. And see, you guys exist. And you don't see yourself as being a threat to the normal population of people that don't consume. You have a lack of accountability that I have already accepted in my life. Yes, I do drink. I drink alcohol, but I'm not finna sacrifice everybody else's to my curse. I don't get it.
Did 12th man drop? No. Yeah. Where'd you go, 12th man? Did you hit the wrong button?
Shit, no, you need to go hit the damn motherfucking water dispensary and start drinking some water and hydrate his mind. I be drunk. I know I be drunk. I ain't no damn better. But fuck, I do drink water. You can't keep cadence with your speech. You're drinking too much.
Say that again, Solid. You doing what?
If you can't keep cadence with your speech, you're drinking too much.
You're drinking too much. You know that's right. See, that's what happens to alcoholics. They get loose with it, man. They spill all the beans.
No, you way out there in the desert, you ain't got no moral boundaries around you to keep you in check. Nothing against my boy 12 man. He got a smart mind, but and I ain't no damn better. I ain't no damn better. I'm gonna shut up. Shut up, Snake. God damn it, you dumb son of a bitch.
Go on with yourself,
you
man.
Ain't fucking better.
Hey, what are you doing Saturday, Snake?
Man, I just been over here drunk than a motherfucker. I'm drunk than a motherfucker.
I can tell.
I ain't had nothing to eat.
You need to go eat some chicken wings.
Shit. Nah, I'm good. I gotta find a job. Hunger is the best teacher.
Hunger is one of the best teachers. That's messed up.
Hunger is the best teacher. Hunger is the best teacher.
Yeah, you him and 12th man. They come
Nah,
up
you
with
gotta
tomorrow,
stay
one in
hungry, bro.
10.
Nah, you gotta stay hungry, bro.
There ain't nothing wrong with drinking every day. It's just, you got to be able to control it.
You got to learn how to control it, and sometimes I feel like I listen to my old self, well, y'all don't see the difference. I don't blame you, but okay. But anyway, I'm listening to myself and I'm hearing myself and I don't agree with myself.
You're arguing with yourself and you can't agree. Who's winning?
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So that's what I'm working on. That's why I'm saying I'm in a transitional state right now. I'm trying to key it in right quick, because it the same thing, I represent my personal life as much as I do my digital life, and I need to put myself into it. And I don't think I've been putting in 100%. over the past 20 years. So I'm like, I'm way behind. So I'm like, I gotta get in shape and all that kind of stuff.
Damn, over a span of 20 years, you're gonna put this? Now you gotta make up 20 years?
Well, when you think about it, I was living in a very comfortable environment.
Okay.
I need to break away from it to get stronger. That's all. Sometimes you gotta slip and fall just to get back up. See how far you can go this time. You know, shit. Damn, I ain't did that in 20 years. I just took the same course for 20 years. I need to start something else. I need to do something different. That's all.
Start a new job.
Hell, I'm going on 50 years old. I don't want to live my next 50 years the way I lived my last 50 years. With a cigarette in my mouth. Ain't that a bitch? Oh, no, I'm stop. But yeah, man, shit. I ain't been wasting my life like that, man. I want to go skydiving one day. I want to get over my fear of heights. I want to go skydiving. I dream about that shit every day, skydiving. Get in the plane and let loose, like my daddy used to do. Shit, that what he did when he was in Vietnam. Shit, that what he was, 101st Airborne. Shit. I used to sit back and watch them old videos he had got from his colonel or whatever. Shit. I sit there and watch. We'll watch them all day with a bag of popcorn. Shit. My daddy was my hero. He wasn't my biological father. But you know, my biological father, you know, he had some other things going on.
He thought it was too good for you? Is that what it was? Where you at? Did you leave? Ah, damn. Solid.
A series of new Florida laws are set to take effect July 1st, bringing several changes to the state's criminal justice system. The new laws address everything from domestic violence, artificial intelligence, to tougher restrictions on convicted sex offenders. NBC6 reporter Christian Colon breaks down what's changing.
July 1st will bring a wave of new laws in Florida, including tougher penalties for people convicted of domestic violence who go on to commit similar crimes again.
Now what we're going to see is individuals who have just one prior case are going to be dealing with felony sentences and felony exposures and significant prison time.
The goal is to deter future violence, tragedies like the ones that have rocked South Florida, where entire families have been killed.
Totally preventable.
Why'd you drop, Solid?
A miscarriage of justice.
Another new criminal law signed by the governor is Missy's Law. It will require people convicted of certain violent crimes to be taken into custody immediately after a guilty verdict or plea, eliminating the possibility of remaining free on bond while awaiting sentencing. The law passed after 5-year-old Missy Mogul was allegedly killed by her stepfather, who had been convicted of a sex crime but was released on bond before he was sentenced.
It forces the judge in serious cases to remand the person, to take the person into custody, even though their case is pending sentencing or pending the appeal.
A new law will also restrict child sexual predators and offenders from living near public swimming pools, including those at apartment complexes and government facilities.
To stay away from churches, schools, parks. Seems like common sense given that we live in South Florida and it's about 900 degrees outside right now. There's going to be a lot of children at public swimming pools. It just makes sense that that restriction be added to the sex offender preclusions.
And as artificial intelligence continues to evolve, a new law will also go after those caught with AI-generated child porn.
It creates a penalty for anyone who knew or reasonably should have known that they were transmitting AI-generated sexual abuse material, and it makes it a second-degree felony.
Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Wow. Okay.
Imagine
That is crazy. No stupid laws. Nothing that was important. Let me put it that way. A lot to do with pedophiles, which is great. I'm happy to see that, but like nothing major. So that kind of got weird. Where's my? I gotta go back. Gotta hit the back button. What the hell? Oh shoot. Hold up. This is that one with the 16 kids in the house when 4 people were arrested. Just starting off the morning. Just keep it going. Exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay till I think 2 o'clock this afternoon. So good night, Black Bear. Good night. Good night.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Nick, can you hear me all right?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. I'm sure it's been a busy afternoon.
It has. A busy couple days.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So we can just kind of jump right in. Thank you again. All right.
Recording in progress.
All right. So first off, just say and spell your first and last name for us.
It is Tommy Stolly. Tommy spelled the way you think it would be, Tommy. Stolly spelled Stolly.
And then official title.
Managing attorney, Stolly Law Offices.
And then when it just comes to this case, you know, you being the lawyer on this one, just kind of just what are your initial thoughts when it comes to, you know, this case that you have at your hand right now?
Well, my initial thoughts are always for the human aspect of a case like this. Obviously, this is something that has been sensationalized a bit. The media is interested in it. People are talking about it. You see it everywhere. But there's a human component here. So that's always the first thing that I'm interested in. I want to know what the charges are, and then I start thinking about the human aspect of it, because that's the thing that's going to actually be real. Because at the end of the day, that's what we care about. So that was my initial thought moving into this, and that's sort of the thought that I went in to the jail with today to speak with Elizabeth, to try to get more of the human side of things.
Yeah, so you went and you talked with Elizabeth today. Can you kind of share what you guys discussed, how she's doing?
I did. I can share to an extent. So what I will say is that I had no idea what I was walking into. I saw the same headlines everyone else did. At one point, the term pure evil was used to describe Elizabeth and the home. And at another point, there was a comment that livestock had been treated better. So I really didn't know what I was walking into. When I walked in there, I met a woman who was timid and who was exhausted. It looked like she had been crying quite a bit. She looked distraught, and she was willing to talk to me, able to talk to me, and we sat down for about an hour and a half to go through the basics of this case. Obviously, to talk.
Well, like I said, if you guys haven't heard about this at all, evidently this for a father, a son, a mother, and a girlfriend, I do believe, were living in this house, and they had a 12 by 12 room where they have 16 kids stored away in, anywhere from 4 months old to 18 years old. And then when the officers walked in there was poop all over the floor and everything. And this is the lawyer that's defending the woman who was arrested.
About some of the legal aspects that are coming up, future hearings in court, what my role is as her attorney. And then I asked her some more personal questions. I asked her if she had seen any of the coverage that has been online for the better part of a day now. She hasn't. She does not know how the home, the conditions, the investigation is being described. And I chose not to share all of those details with her at this point because she does seem so fragile. The person that I met with, though, is not someone who comes across as pure evil. It's just evil requires malice. And the person that I saw there, Elizabeth, she doesn't have that in her eyes, at least from this initial. So,
could it possibly be that she's a victim too? And they haven't looked at it that way? It could be a possibility.
This was an opportunity for me to get to know her to the extent that I can in this early stage. So at this point, I do. I think she is distraught.
Do you think that she's a victim in any of this?
She would not, I don't think she would classify herself as a victim.
Okay. Good.
That was, I asked her that question in a couple roundabout ways, and she did not have a typical victim-minded mindset when answering. She did say that she misses her kids, and that's one of the things that shocked me was the first question that she asked me was, are the kids okay? When can I see the kids? And do you know anything about where they are? That was the first series of questions that she asked me, which, kind of surprised me.
Are they all
usually when people are in jail, they ask, can you get me out of here? When can I get out? So I think that was telling.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it there. And another lawyer also that's defending Gary Sr. also kind of said that, the sheriff and the attorney general, they're saying that, these sheriffs, attorney generals are making this, a political, they're sensationalizing this case, excuse me, this case. So do you believe that to be true?
I don't want to get into politics here. I don't think that any of this investigation is politically motivated. I think the investigators and law enforcement work on the ground. So they see what's right there, right in front of them. They don't necessarily have the benefit of the hindsight conversation. So I think a lot of the snapshots that got out there into the media and on press conferences were based on those initial perceptions. And that's not the whole story. It doesn't tell us why something happened. It doesn't actually present a narrative as to who these people are.
So you're going to be the disgusting lawyer that goes on ahead and accepts this case where there was 16 kids in a 12-by-12 room, malnutritioned, on the verge of death. Now I got to see the picture of these kids. I still want to know whose kids they are.
And who these children are in that context. So I would say we are still so very early on in this case. And it takes time. But unfortunately, first impressions really do matter. And so when we have language like pure evil, it's important to combat that language and say innocent until proven guilty. Because that's what Elizabeth is, and that's what all of her family who lived in that home are. They're innocent until proven guilty. And it's the state's burden to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Wow.
And we don't know at this point if they're going to.
This Thomas Stoley is a class act of what a lawyer truly is. Scum. I cannot believe that. I'm going to keep on listening for a minute.
Be able to do that. Part of what I was able to get today in sitting down and meeting with Elizabeth was a little bit more of that context. Who she is as a person and her relationship with the kids.
And kind of, you kind of mentioned the media aspect of things, the talk of the town in Vinton County is this case. Do you want to take this case out of Vinton County? Do you want to ask for it to be taken out of Vinton County to be somewhere else?
I don't know if we have enough information for that at this point. What I will say is that the people of Vinton County are tremendously fair, and we look forward to vigorously defending this case. And that's going to involve a lot of investigation and, to be honest, a lot of time. So is that something that is a possibility? maybe. We don't know that at this point. We don't have discovery at this point.
All right. Well, is there anything else I'd like to add that I didn't ask you about?
Not that I can think of, other than the fact that we are still so early here, and it's going to take time. There's going to be more information that comes out, and some of it is probably going to bring a lot of this into context. But what I would ask for the public, or from the public rather, is to allow this thing and to have faith in the system and to allow this process to work out. Because, like I said, we look forward to vigorously defending this case, to working through each of the charges.
There's no way.
Most importantly,
There's no way, even if this girl was, in fear for her life or something like that, or this lady, there's no way that she could take and say that she's concerned about the kids when, she had no concern to make any kind of, maybe that was the side quest that the police were investigating in the first place. Maybe she led them to, I can see where this lawyer can be sounding like this. Okay, I'm going to continue. We're going to keep close watch on this case.
make sure that the kids are okay. And it sounds like that is well on the way at this point. So, then our focus shifts to the context and figuring out all we can about what happened. So the unfortunate truth in the American justice system is that takes time. So we're confident that it will, that the system will work. It's just going to take time.
Yeah, and just kind of lastly, when were you notified that you'd be taking this case?
Well, coincidentally, I happened to be in Vinton County yesterday. And it was yesterday afternoon, right before the courthouse closed, that I got notification that I would be, they asked if I would take the case, and I said yes.
And then I know it's still kind of early on for you, and you might not have all the details. But was Elizabeth 15 years old when she was married to Gary?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay.
Oh, she's the victim. She's a victim. She's the victim in the story. And those kids, 15. She's how old when she was? They said that would be. I think yesterday it says there was like about 27, 28, somewhere around there. 15 seasons. That's 10 years.
And I just want to make sure I covered all the basics. I think we got it also. I appreciate your time today. I know it's probably been very busy.
It has, but I appreciate you taking the time as well.
Yep. All right. Well, have a great rest of your evening.
All right, thanks, Nick. Have a good one.
You too.
I gotta watch to see when the age she was when she got arrested, or what age they are right now, because that's kind of crazy right there.
The case are horrible. But you had a front row seat to the emotion, and I think that's what we're most interested in.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Ready? When I first initially got there to be a driver for the EMS, one of the squads, there was just a line of cars, a line of BCI, the sheriff office, Benton County EMA, there was just a whole slew of cars, and it was kind of a cluster because that's a small road to go through. And when we got there, I got out of the truck. I told the other firefighter with me to take the truck back to the station. They'll drop me off. I started walking up to the scene, and they start screaming at me. We need a driver. So I get into the squad. Sure enough, we have a load of children in the back that were clearly and not in the greatest shape. They were very quiet. Other than that, we turned around, ran lights and sirens to the hospital for a quick turnaround because we may have to transport more children. And all I can think of is this is a big scene for our tiny community. Hampden doesn't have that many people. Benton County and the whole spec of it doesn't have a lot of resources. So we contacted Jackson County, and they got more squads there, first responders. And they arrived pretty quickly as well. And I mean, it was a situation we're not used to dealing with. You know, I work for Jackson County EMS too, part-time. And when we go into houses, there's a few that we know about that are kind of these kind of conditions, but not so much that you see that number of children that are in that situation. If they were, you report that. This one just kind of caught us out of surprise, really, because we didn't really expect
16 kids.
This house didn't even look like anyone was living in it. So that was kind of challenging.
Can you describe at all what the children inside the back of that car looked like, and just sights, smells, everything that you encounter when you had those kids in the back seat?
Well, if anyone has been into a house that has these kind of conditions, you can smell, you can see the cockroaches and stuff like that, bugs just in general. And the conditions, you know, bugs get on the children and stuff, and they scratch and they bite and all that stuff. So their condition wasn't the greatest. As far as the smell, it's just a certain kind of smell. If you've ever been into a house that had those kind of conditions, it's not very pleasant. You know, typically I wear a mask if I endure those kind of conditions, just a face mask, to kind of help cover that up, because it's awful.
Potent?
Yes. It sticks with you, and it sticks on your clothes, and you can smell it for hours afterwards until you can go change.
Do you know at all roughly the age range of the kids who were in the back seat? Because you said there were 4 that you had.
I know that 2 of them were small. I don't know age range, but I knew they were all pretty young kids that we dealt with.
Like elementary school age?
Yes.
And I mean, I see that you're married. I don't know if you have children, you know, but just how did it make you feel to see children, you know, in such a state, you know, and being that person to get them help that they needed?
Well, that's just what we do. Seeing children like that, and I think Sheriff Ryan Kane kind of touched on that. Our livestock around here live in better conditions. So.
And I'd like to go back.
Damn, even the EMS guy said he agrees with the sheriff. The kids were living, or the livestock lives better than the kids were living in. That's horrible.
That moment when you were driving, when you kind of looked over your shoulder and they were in the back, bring us to that moment. What you remember? Is there an image that day? Did you see the child's eyes? Did they look at you? Did they touch you? Did they smile at you? Is there some haunting memory you have of providing care to these kids?
Mainly I was focused on driving, getting down to the hospital. Our closest hospital is from Hampden, probably about 20 minutes. I knew it was just quiet. That's what it was. Blank expressions. Of course, they were scared. They've never endured anything like that before. They didn't know where they were going. You know, that kind of situation.
Did they have any questions for you as you were doing
They
it?
didn't speak to me. I try to have limited contact unless I was asked to help with the children. So when
This is
we
transport
arrived out
driver.
at the ER, I helped unload the children to the hospital. So,
You said this sort of stuff doesn't really happen here. Do you think it'll ever happen again, or is this a once in a career emergency?
well, you just don't know. You really don't know what's going on behind someone's door. I mean, clearly that house, nobody had any indication that there were that many children in that house. So are you supposed to go knocking door to door and ask people? You really can't. So
I got what I need. Do you have what you need?
I think so. Only thing that my team is asking for, we see that Gary Jr. has a pretrial on the 9th for an indecency charge of some kind. I think that's a separate case number.
yes, that is separate.
When we have it, so can we print that off as well? So I have it.
We don't handle that. That's in county court.
That's in
So
county?
yeah,
Okay.
but I can take you over there.
I don't know. That is crazy, man. I can't believe that still. Now, that's a pretty hot topic, though. That's good. So many things. There's Candace Owens stuff. There's Charlie Kirk stuff popping back up. It's crazy.
Officers were responding to a robbery, but the intruder ended up being a deer.
Police, let me see your hands. That's a deer. It's a deer.
Go, come on, come on. There we go. In a routine response, an officer captures another deer that had wandered into a house. Speaking of antlered animals, officers respond to another unusual incident as a deer crashes through a bank window and triggers an alarm.
Heads up, you know what I mean?
And the deer flying by so close to these officers.
That's so funny.
The animal trapped itself in the corner and the officers got it. Meanwhile, a runaway pig is caught by a police officer after briefly escaping.
Piggy, don't go home. That's funny.
Officers reported to another suspected burglary and don't know what to do when they realize it's not a human burglar, but a deer.
Police department. Deer. It's a deer. I can't make this up. There's a deer in here. There's a. I don't know what to do.
An officer carefully throws a towel over a crocodile in an attempt to restrain it.
Did you record that?
While police are reporting to an incident, a naughty goat jumps on a police car and refuses to get down.
Excellent.
Get off the car. Get off.
Luckily, the goat did not cause damage.
Okay, this is boring. That's no good. I don't want that. Let's go to the news again. Oh, this guy pleads guilty to
Back into live now from Vines. I'm Andy
the
Mack. We do
Nancy
want to talk
Guthrie
about
case.
now some key developments in the Nancy Guthrie, especially revolving around fake ransom notes as a California man accused of writing one of them to the Nancy Guthrie family has pleaded guilty. Derek Calleja faced charges of transmitting a demand for ransom, interstate commerce, and utilizing telecommunications device with intent to abuse, threaten, or harass a person. He has pleaded guilty to both counts, faces up 2 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. This coming in from the New York Post.
$250,000 fine.
Pleading guilty as the heartbroken family continues to search for their mother. Investigators said the messages were sent moments after the Guthrie family released the first video message to the alleged kidnappers asking for proof of life. So Derek Calleja now admitted that he called and sent text to the
3 days
family
after
on
they knew
February
that
the 4th
she was
asking
gone.
about the Bitcoin transfer. Let's bring into the conversation right now here on Live Now from Fox for more on this. Retired police lieutenant, friend of the program, Randy Sutton. Randy, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. Exactly how did they track this person down? Because there's a lot of talk about ransom notes. This one individual pleading guilty today. How did they find him?
You know, the FBI has amazing resources when it comes down to anything digital. And so that, you know, some of the confusion in this investigation has resulted in some disarray, shall we say. There's been issues involving the Sheriff's Department and their cooperation with the FBI. And unless the FBI is called in on what was a local investigation, they really have no jurisdiction. And there's been a lot of conflict going on between the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, for actually, you know, a substantial amount of time. So the FBI did play a role, and I think that their digital resources and the ability to track and investigate is pretty much second to none. So they were able to take this individual, this suspect, who is now pleading guilty, and they were able to trace his communications back to him, which shows that he was not as savvy as the other people that they have not been able to trace on the emails and the ransom notes that they have sent. But this individual is facing some substantial time, but it's my understanding that there's a very good possibility he's just going to get probation.
Yeah, and obviously this is a serious matter when we're talking about this. Some see it as a prank. He was reaching out there to family immediately after this message went out. We mentioned the fact that they do this on a digital front. How heavy of a lift is it? Do the cellular carriers get involved in any way?
Yeah, there's a ton of logistical stuff that has to take place and legal stuff that has to take place, including subpoenas, search warrants, and some carriers are very cooperative with law enforcement, others not so. And so it's really a matter of investigative savvy when it comes down to conducting these investigations on which companies are cooperative, which are not, and then the myriad of court orders and subpoenas that have to be obtained.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And Derek Calleja pleading guilty. We'll see what he gets. Sentencing later on this fall. Are there any telltale signs of a fake ransom note, something that's just put out there as a prank almost?
I would venture to guess that there were numbers of fakes and flakes that came out of this, and they were only looking at the ones that were serious to really truly investigate. But think of this: you have a major investigation like this. Every type of resource is utilized, and when you take resources away in order to chase a fake lead, well, that endangers the victim here. And I look at this as a really serious crime, because you're talking about a family that is desperate to get their loved one back. And then you have an individual like this who capitalizes on their pain. And I don't view this as something that is a probationary offense. I think that an example should be made of him, and he needs to go to prison for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of
I
people
agree with
agree
that.
with you on that. And it might not have been the only one, as we're hearing new reporting from Reuters saying they spoke with an FBI official saying 3 ransom notes linked to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, including one claiming she died after being abducted, have been deemed fake. What does that signify to you, the FBI ruling out some of these ransom notes?
Well, there's been conflicting information that's been given out from the beginning of this investigation. So, you have to look at everything with a jaundiced eye, if you will, accept that description of things. And the investigative process that has been ongoing through this has been really confused in a lot of ways because of the issues involving the different investigative agencies. So when it comes down to the credibility of the reports, everything you have to look at is you look at the credibility, and you would hope.
All right, y'all. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm about to crash out. So I'm gonna go ahead and wind it down. Yeah, I'm gonna wind it down.
First in life, thought little Joe. Truck cost more than money.
Then I'm falling out. I'm about to crash. Yeah. I'll be back on this afternoon.
Young heart, sharp mind.
I'm about to fall out.
Moving hungry, late nights, cheap food, talking like we touch money. Everybody had a story, everybody had pain. Everybody was smile, but not everybody the same. One from the island said, rude boy, keep pushing. One from the block said, pressure make diamonds, keep cooking. One stayed talking business, one was living check to check. Lil' Joe saw familiar in the hands around his neck. Backs on the wall, all of us talking big, saying when one man need, then the whole damn crew live, laughing through the hard times, building through rain. Never knew fake smiles and envy wore the same face. Trust costs more than money, learned that the hard way. Everybody else familiar till the storm hit dark days. Traición cut deeper when the love look real. Sin miedo now, but I still remember how it feels. Should've peeped the silence every time I hit the room. Same one, silent love, started singing different tunes. Heard my name in whispers, felt the whole vibe shift. Funny how the handshake changed when the plans got big. One said, I gotta move. One said, trust me, we good. Same one grinning in my face, moving weird in the hood. Otra cara, same snake, just a different disguise. Lil' Joe learn real quick and be left behind eyes. Started catching little cracks in the words they would say. Cats that stood beside me slowly drifted away. Money make the weak talk, pressure make them expose. Truth don't kick the front door, nah, truth move slow. Trust costs more than money, learned that the hard way. Everybody else familiar till the storm hit dark days. Traición cut deeper when the love look real. Sin miedo now, but I still remember how it feels. Said pull up, lil' bro, got a plate, let's lock it in. Same one I broke bread with, let the whole problem in. Walking with my trust first, never check the air. Crazy how the ones you call your people leave you standing there. Phones went ghost, cold looks, whole energy switch. Truth hit harder than a fist when the whole thing flipped. Money got weird, plans changed, names got tossed. Lil' Joe learned loyalty got a heavyweight cost. Wasn't just a setup, nah, it was who stay still. Wipe the walls close in, they say nothing dead chill. That's the kind of lesson turn a warm heart still. Sin miedo now, but I still remember how it feels. Ain't every hand that shake yours, really wishing you well. Some people love the version of you, easier to sell. Traición teach different cuts deeper than the rest. Lil' Joe stopped canning out his heart like a free invest. Now Nah, Lil Joe move quieter, don't speak on every plan. Learn loyalty ain't talk, this who stay when shit get jammed. Circle got smaller, but the real ones move close. Let's fake love in the air, let's hands reaching for ghosts. Ain't no hate in my blood, just awareness in my sight. I don't fear what I've seen, I just read the signs right. Send me though chin up, but select the way I stand. You can smile, dap me up, that don't mean you in the fam. Still got love for the solid, yeah, the ones that stay true. Some show colors under pressure when the hard times grew. Lil Joe ain't lose his heart, nah, just change how you deal. Trust costs more than money.